All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well this Sunday evening. This is Sean from Kirby's Barbecue, and we are coming to you live from New Caney, Texas. And we've got two fine gentlemen on the show this evening, TJ from Zoomies Barbecue and Keith from Sugar Shack Barbecue down in Florida. How you gentlemen doing this evening?
I'm
Doing
good.
good.
Y'all ready for a fun night?
You got the stogie going.
That's right. That's right. You know it. You know it. This is a new one for me. I have not smoked this one before. It is from Nicaragua, which I'm familiar with cigars from there, but this is from this is Inch, which I've never even had before, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad. What's up, Hallmarks Barbecue? How you doing, brother? All the way from Washington. Razmid. You're new, Razmid. I hadn't seen him in here before. Have you, TJ?
No.
No. Welcome, welcome. We'll wait for a couple more people to get in, but we've got a great show tonight, some good topics to go over, as well as our special guest, Keith from Sugar Shack Barbecue. Keith, we're going to get into it here shortly, man, but tell us a little bit about yourself and what part of Florida that you reside in, my friend.
We are what's considered the Space Coast. So we're 45 minutes east of Orlando on the Atlantic Ocean in Titusville. From where my restaurant is, you can almost throw a rock and hit the SpaceX launch pad.
Wow. Okay. And how long have you been in that area yourself?
We've lived here 4 years.
Okay. And were you a native Floridian or a transplant?
Transplant. We lived in Kansas City for a long time, most of my adult life.
No kidding. No kidding. Okay. I was born in Wichita, Kansas.
That's what I remember you saying.
Yeah. Awesome. Good deal. Well, I'm sure Florida is a little bit better of a fall and winter for you than Kansas City.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. What's going on, Alex? Hope you're doing well, brother. So you get to Florida 4 years ago, and you have just opened a barbecue restaurant 4th of July weekend, correct?
Correct. July
Okay.
2nd.
So what were you doing before July, and how did this all come about? Are you a restaurateur? Have you done the restaurant business before?
Never.
How did all this happen, man?
I own a chain of vape smoke shops, actually.
Okay.
Denver, Kansas City, here in Florida. And my wife and I decided to finally get out of the Kansas City winters. Moved to Florida, immediately went out looking for some barbecue, was disappointed. Rinse and repeat over and over again, every barbecue place in the county. And I started making a joke. I told her, I said, if I don't find any decent barbecue in the entire county, we're going to open a restaurant. It was just a joke at first. Fast forward 3 years later, here we are.
Okay.
Nice.
So you've got the vape shop businesses. It seems, how many locations do you have with that?
7.
7 locations.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm assuming they're kind of running themselves at this point for the most part if you decide to take on a restaurant as well.
I have super good management in place at this point. We've been going for 13 years now.
Okay.
Oh,
So you're
wow.
not new in the game. You've been doing it.
Yeah, but the restaurant thing, yeah, you know.
So when was the decision actually made to open a restaurant? Because some people, especially some of my audience, they want to open restaurants, and sometimes it seems like people are just opening restaurants overnight, which couldn't be further
No.
from the truth.
No.
So kind of like, when did you have the idea to open the restaurant? How long from the idea of opening it to actually doing stuff to put it in place and getting it open? Like, kind of walk us through that timeline and what that looked like.
I got serious about 15 months ago. Again, being that we had pretty good management in place for the retail shops, my wife and I did a lot of traveling last year. We went all over the US, but I did spend a lot of time in Texas and got to see some of my favorite barbecue places that I'd been following. Goldie's, Snow's, everything in Lockhart, went to Truth in Houston.
Uh,
I met Brendan that runs Damon's southwest of Houston. Got to go to Bar A Barbecue in Montgomery. Some of the guys I just been following, and I just asked questions and got real answers and started getting serious then.
okay, so 15 months.
So you
Yeah.
weren't really, you didn't do barbecue on your own before all that then?
Well, I mean, I've been in Kansas City, barbecue's culture. It's a way of life.
Right.
Like most guys, you don't have a man card if you don't know how to barbecue. But I fell in love with barbecue when Aaron Franklin blew up back in 2010, 11. I should rephrase that. I fell in love with Texas style barbecue.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kansas City barbecue is a lot of manipulation of meats, very sweet sauces. And my wife and I don't like sweet sauce at all. So when we started eating brisket in Texas 15 years ago, we were like, whoa. It was a whole new revelation for us.
Okay. And so what does your wife say when you say, hey, 15 months ago, after going through did you guys, here's the question. Did you go to Texas thinking, okay, I'm going to try to go to all these places, talk to all these pit masters, kind of try to learn the game and then go open a restaurant? Or did you have that, like, I'm going to open a restaurant after you came back? How did that go?
Yeah, it was still kind of just research and information mode at that point. And we still hadn't finished going to all the barbecue places in our local county yet. Our county is 70 miles north to south. It's a big county.
Are you Broward?
We're Brevard.
Brevard. Okay. Okay.
So it's not a whole huge population base. It's 650,000 in the county, but it's pretty big geographically.
Okay.
So there's a lot of barbecue places to try out.
Yeah.
And we suffered through a lot of it. You can throw a stone in Texas and find good barbecue, and the same in
Sure.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Down here, not so much.
Well, TJ's going through a similar thing down there in the New Orleans area
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah, I'm trying all kind of different places, and one that I found that I liked, they've been consistent, but like the last time I went to them, it was off. But another one was like, oh, like I didn't even know they were there. I went to them, sausage was dry and grainy, brisket was like chewy, and the cutter was being lazy. I said I wanted like a mix of fat and lean on a 3-meat plate, and I got a 3/4 inch piece of meat cut. And on one side of it, it was burned. On the other side, it was chewy. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Pulled pork was flavorless. I was underwhelmed. It was like just so. There's not a lot of places in my area that do really good barbecue. I asked if they did pit tours, and I said I'm not looking to do it right now because you're just opening. And I got from the cutter, no, we don't do that. So
I want to show everybody our pit. Everybody.
See, it's great marketing. It's just
yes,
fantastic opportunity.
Tell the story.
Yeah, tell the story. It's interesting because it seems that everybody I talk to in the barbecue world, like, I'm trying to decipher which one is actually better in regards to, like, I'm in a very saturated market for barbecue, but there's a really, really big appetite for barbecue here as well, right?
Yes.
Now, where you guys are at, it's kind of I don't want to say the complete opposite, but it's the opposite in the sense of it's not oversaturated. And I don't quite know exactly what the appetite is for it in different locations. And it's just fun to see people doing different concepts, barbecue concepts in different parts of the country and having really good success. TJ, I'm gonna let you go with the next question you might have for Keith, because I've got some pretty hard hitting questions I want to know. but I don't want to steal it. TJ, what do you got for Keith?
So you started 15 months ago with the idea and just went ahead with the brick and mortar style?
Yeah, we got serious August, September of last year. I started talking to pit manufacturers. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of the Texas companies were, unless you're in the inner circle, you're not going to get a pit within 5, 6 months. And we contacted Primitive Pits in Georgia, and they were able to put us on their list, I think in November for a February or March date, which was good.
What do you have?
We're running 1,000-gallon Primitive Pit.
Oh wow. Oh
Those
wow.
those primitive pits are nice, man. They're out of all the big box ones, those have been the ones that I had my eye on before I got my PRM build.
Yep.
And man, at that time, I was still doing pop ups when you had the idea pop in your head. I don't even know if I probably made 1 or 2 videos. And I think I started the channel in September. I think I could go back and look. And I maybe made 1 or 2 videos in the backyard at that point or something. And, the
I
restaurant wasn't
remember.
even, yeah, restaurant wasn't even in the cards at that point. But man, had it been, man, I'd have hooked you up with my guy Paul, man. 90 days with PRM. But no, primitive pits. From what I can see, they make some awesome pits. How have you been liking it?
I mean, the pit cruises at 250. It's just so easy to keep a stable temperature running, and every pit's got its hot spots and so forth that you're going to deal with a little bit. Although I heard M&M's bragging about a new pit technology that has no hot spots
Yeah,
that you can
Eminem.
cook right next to the firebox.
No pun intended, but Eminem's hot right now, man. They're
They
hot
are.
right now. They've been putting out some stuff, man. For real. So September, you start kind of getting into the idea and whatnot. What was it like for the audience, man? What was it like kind of finding a location, kind of figuring out what the finance, you don't have to get into specifics, but kind of what the finances needed to look like, zoning, like give us kind of a brief, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, it might be boring, but give us kind of an overview because that can be a really tall task even for a seasoned entrepreneur like yourself, man.
I mean, we have friends that operate a barbecue place in KC. So, I mean, they mentored us a little bit, and we can get into some of that later on, maybe in the conversation. But one of the big things we were looking for was a space that either already was plumbed for a 3-bay sink or had a commercial hood or both. Those are your 2 biggest capital investments on converting any space. And we wanted to be mid-county, but we just couldn't find anything that worked for the right money. And we actually took close to 5 months looking at locations. I mean, we got all the way through Christmas. We didn't sign a lease actually until 3 weeks before our pit was scheduled to ship.
Okay. Well, hey guys, in the chat, that's. I hope you're like get a notepad out and a pen, start taking some notes, because I mean, he took 5 months to find a location. Some people will drive through the city and be like, "Oh, this place looks great," but it does take time to find a location. Not only that is going to be subject to kind of the build out you want to do, right? But also, you got to worry about zoning, you got to worry about what neighbors you have, you got to worry about what are the traffic patterns, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, the big thing was finding a property owner that was going to be friendly to an outdoor pit, and then the infrastructure that I mentioned. We ended up going all the way north in the county, but I do own a smoke shop right in the same shopping center.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
actually, yeah, I actually looked at the place first. It's a little standalone building at the end, and then kind of put it off to the side. And then 5 months later, came back to it and signed the lease. It was plumbed for a 3-bay. but we still put close to 2,000 into plumbing.
Okay.
And
What
then we
about
had to put a hood in.
ooh,
And I don't know if you've been around any hood installations lately, but post-COVID, you're looking at 4,000 a foot.
yeah, you said I remember we were emailing back and forth,
Oh,
and
it's insane. The thing's like a rocket ship. It's got the touchscreen controls now, and it ate up 5 circuits on our panel to
that's
wire
wild.
that thing.
You said you got a touch
Yeah.
screen on yours?
Yeah, it's got a
Oh
touchscreen.
wow.
And it's only a 6-foot hood.
That's wild. What that's interesting. I've only ever used even in the bit like I'm in a very small space right now, older space, but even in the $1 million build outs that I was a part of, we didn't even have touch screens on ours. It was just the normal, flip switch.
I know now, like on a day off, we'll go down and we'll eat pizza somewhere, and I walk in and they've got like a 40-foot hood, and I'm like dropping my jaw because I know what that thing costs now. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you guys have a 40-foot hood. But
Yeah. Those are the big expenses, those hoods with the suppression system, the 3-compartment sinks, like you said, getting those done ahead of time is key.
But on the other hand, I mean, we looked at a space where a brew pub had failed, had a beautiful patio that we could have put pits on, but they were wanting like $45 a square foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not paying $9,000 a month rent for this place. That's insane.
Yeah.
I wanted a little place, and I mean, Sean, your place and my place aren't that far apart in physical dimensions.
Really?
I got a little bit bigger kitchen and a little bit, and I have seating inside, but we only have seating for 32.
Okay. Okay.
It's a small place.
So I
I
got
think
a
it's
couple I got a couple
2,100
questions.
square feet.
2,100.
Okay.
I'd have to check and see what mine's pretty small, man. I'll probably between my kitchen and my patio, it might be 1,000 square feet, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
You can't count your
you're doing
patio.
all porch seating, right?
What's that?
You're doing all porch seating.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and I've got 9 4-tops,
Okay.
and then a
Okay.
typical Texas service line walking in. But we don't have a lot of extra room. When it gets backed up, we get
Yeah.
8, 10, 12 people in line. It starts getting a little uncozy out there.
Well, I'll put it this way, Keith. I'll put it this way. When I submitted my plans to the fire marshal, it was like I want to say like 700 square feet, maybe something like that. He was like, "Oh, this building? Yeah, no problem. You're good."
Yeah, when I heard what you had to do with your pit room, that was cruel.
Yeah. So question for you: what does your pit room situation look like?
I mean, we have a courtyard on one side, and that's where our pit is, and then we just put one of those garage-like carport things over it.
Okay.
And the stack's hanging out one end.
So you don't have to have it
that's
screened
it.
in?
It's not
No,
fully
no
enclosed?
screen in.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm probably 6 feet away from a bunch of electric meters.
Well,
Fire department didn't say a word.
well, you got it easy because I got a guy on
Yeah.
the corner from me who's grilling chicken on an open flame grill, literally on the road, like on the side of the road, no covering, nothing, dust and dirt just flying in everywhere,
Ugh.
and he's good,
Yes.
but I got to build a building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, guys, if you're tuning in,
It literally.
if you're tuning in late, guys, or you missed the intro, this is Keith from Sugar Shack Barbecue down in Florida. He just opened a barbecue restaurant beginning of July. They're absolutely crushing it. We're going to get into some numbers soon, but I think TJ had a question. Go ahead, TJ.
Oh no, I was gonna comment on the chicken. That was literally, it is ridiculous. We're talking like a foot from the road. The main road that is what, 40 miles an hour?
40, 50 miles an hour. I mean, it's a dirt road.
Yeah.
I mean, there's dirt,
I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. we have to have our stuff screened in here because I have a guy that's down the road from me that he just opened up in a little small city, and he gave me some insight on what's required. And he has his smoker on a trailer. He put the roof, and he has to have it screened in here as well. So, same like we have more stringent guidelines now. He didn't have to have a mop sink in it, but he has one like right by it
Did
for
you
hand washing.
did you have to have a hand washing station out there by your pit, Keith, or no?
No,
See, yeah,
no.
yeah.
I mean, I guess the fire inspector or whatever understands that people cook outdoors. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
Well, the city that I'm in, or the town, I don't know, it's a city, but the city that
county.
I'm in, it's a pretty old fashioned city. You know, these folks been here for 60, 70 years. And, you know, new guy comes to town, they want to give him a hard time. That's the only thing I can think of. It is what it is. I'm not one
pay
of
your
those.
dues.
Yeah, I mean, you've watched my channel long enough to kind of get my vibe. You know, I'm not one to pull any victim cards or anything like that. It is what it is. Well, you know,
You played by the book. You did it right. You built it. It's inspected, and you're off and running.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So the building's in the same shopping center. Do you have the same landlord? Like, are you
Yep,
paying?
same property owner.
Dude, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah,
That-
it's going to be nice. He also has an event space. He owns the whole block. So he's got an RV park right next to us
yeah.
that
Oh,
we get all the snowbirds in every winter. And then he owns an event space on the other side of the block that we're going to be able to do some catering opportunities.
Okay.
that's phenomenal.
So
Yeah.
you're in a great position at being the same landlord, because now that you have two businesses there, he has just as much of a vested interest in making sure you're successful as you do, right?
He's still the kind of guy that can make or break you, though.
Okay.
I about 2 years ago, I made him upset over something, and he just wanted to terminate the lease for the smoke shop.
Uh-oh.
30 days notice.
Oh.
So I quickly found out what triggers him and what doesn't, and we play nice now.
Well, it's been 2 years. You got another business there. I'm sure things have gotten a little bit better, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about staffing, man. How many people do you have to staff this restaurant? And do you have a manager in place, or is it you and your wife doing it right now? And what does that look like for you right now? How
So
many
right
days and
now we're running.
how many days a week are you open as well?
Yeah, we're open Wednesday through Sunday, and then our big food delivery comes tomorrow, Monday, and then we start prepping Tuesday. We're running 2 in the kitchen, 2 in the pit, and then my wife and I are running the line.
Okay.
We have a part-time dishwasher that comes in at 6, and she works 6 to 9. So we're running probably 8, 16, 20, 35 labor hours a day,
35
Wednesday
labor
through
hours a day.
Sunday.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, I'm thinking. That's all. You're good.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
about 35 labor hours per day average, Wednesday through
Fantastic.
Sunday.
Fantastic. And what are you looking like? Like, I know you opened beginning of July, so you're literally 1 month in, right?
Yeah, we are a month old.
How is the reception from the community been? You know, are they supporting you? And what are
Well,
we talking kind of numbers wise, man? Whatever you're comfortable sharing. You know,
sure.
how are you guys doing first month in? You know,
Well,
have you been
first of
great?
all, I want to give a big shout out to Jackson, our social media manager. He's probably listening in somewhere here because I told him we were doing this tonight.
Okay.
And I would love to get him on your show sometime because he has been instrumental in our success. we're in a town of 50,000. We were a mile and a half away from another independently owned barbecue restaurant that is owned by the ex-pastor of the largest non-denominational church in the county. Him and his brother have a huge congregation, and they have a huge following at that barbecue restaurant because of that.
Okay.
Of course.
We didn't think the food was that good, so we opened anyway. And Jackson started teasing on Facebook right after we got the pit and started doing test cooks. And little by little, people local started buying in and liking us, and they would come by and see how we're doing on the build out. And by the time we were ready to open in July, we had a lot of momentum because of that Facebook presence. We created a Facebook event for the grand opening and paid to boost it, but we didn't spend a whole lot of money on that event through Facebook, maybe 200, 250.
Okay.
And the event was displayed to probably 20, 30,000 people in the north end of the county where we're at. So we got some good visibility.
Okay.
And I mean, we were just selling out right from day one.
Very nice. I got a comment here I want to read. Sorry to interrupt you. Mark Carr, he's actually local to me. He's been to the restaurant once or twice. He said, "Hey, Sugar Shack, just read some of your reviews on your place. Seems like you're hitting it out of the park."
Yeah, we are humbled and blessed. My friends in Kansas City told me, they said, the first 10 days you're open, don't worry about food costs. Don't worry about labor costs. Just cook great food and be as hospitable as you can to your customer base. Build the love, tell the story. And that's what we did.
That's probably the best advice I've ever heard from a restaurateur.
Yeah. We just didn't even pay attention to labor hours. None of that for the first 10 days. We overstocked, but Dan, we put out some good food.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. So what is, okay, like I said, tell us whatever numbers you feel comfortable with, but you said you've pretty much been selling out every day since. What kind of volume are you doing? You can either go dollars wise or food wise. That's up to you. What are you guys kind of doing a week right now?
As a precursor, we opened up at the worst possible time in our area.
Okay.
It's
late summer.
the opposite of it's not tourist season here, obviously. The heat index was 115 degrees 4 days last week. School's getting ready to start.
Yep.
And here we're opening a restaurant.
Hey,
but
I've been feeling it this last couple of weeks.
The last 30 days, Hunger Rush has shown that we did 56,000 in sales.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And we're running about a 60% prime cost.
Okay. So when you said a 60% prime cost, what do you mean by that?
That's our labor and food cost, including to-go packaging.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's not utilities. That's not rent. That's not all that good stuff.
Nope.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nope.
I gotcha.
My wife wants to know when she's going to get a paycheck, though.
Yeah,
tell her it's in the mail.
Yeah, tell her it's in the mail.
She's serious, too.
Hey, my wife asks the same thing every week almost. And I tell her, oh, it's coming.
I've had guys in the food industry explain to her how lucky we are with the launch we had. And
yes,
she still wants to know when she's getting a paycheck. In fact, she's closing the restaurant right now while she let me out early today. She's a trooper. That girl can wash dishes like nobody's business.
One thing I will tell you, Keith, is gosh, you made me laugh. Now I forgot exactly what I was going to say. Oh, I remember now. One thing I'll tell you is after an opening, which you probably already know, you've opened lots of businesses, it sounds like, is just keep your foot on the gas, man. Especially with the restaurant, especially with a restaurant specifically. You've got to keep your foot on the gas, man.
Oh, I agree.
Keep doing the marketing.
So much.
keep doing the marketing. I mean, keep looking for catering opportunities and wherever you can get people, influential people to try your food, whether it's food bloggers or people who are important in the city. Because if you can keep the momentum going, man, you're going to be even more successful than you can imagine.
Yeah, we realize we can't just rest on Facebook success. And I mean, I think we're 31 days in and we've got 82 Google reviews already.
That's awesome.
And that is huge.
Yeah.
And I respond to every one of them within an hour personally. And we
Nice.
thank everybody for showing us the barbecue love and thanking them for their review. And, you know, we're really blessed to have that kind of traction in Google and Facebook quickly. And Jackson, again, if you're out there listening still, we love you. I mean, this guy comes up with posts. He's using Chat GPT and these tools, and he just comes up with the coolest Facebook posts. And, you know, if any other operators are out there, I mean, just go check out our page. It's Sugar Shack BBQ Titusville and see what he's doing. I mean,
your guy's listening. He's live. That's
Yeah,
Rasmus.
he's
He's
yeah,
listening.
he's been
yeah, I mean, he's just it's the difference between hoping people come and being bombarded with business. Just from what he did.
How did you meet him?
He's the manager at my smoke shop.
Okay. I got you.
He's a 26-year-old that he's in touch with technology.
Well,
I can see it. I could see
have-
you walk into his office and tell him, "Hey, man, I got some more responsibility for you in the management side. I need you to do this other thing too."
Well, he was kind of along for the ride a little bit when Jackson and I would go to the barbecue places and eat together. And then we would rate them and take notes. And then and we agreed just so much on how much mediocre food that was out there. And people just don't care.
God, yeah. No,
Yeah.
they don't.
Well,
And people are so used to it. They have no expectations. They just go in and get the stuff. And for me, what I've learned with this barbecue is these places it's an experience. Sean took us to Truth Barbecue when we were in town, and that was an experience.
Heck
It was
yeah.
an experience. I mean, that's what will make someone come back is going along for the ride. You're not riding with us all the time, but we're going to take you on the ride today.
The owner of Truth Barbecue, I finally met somebody that was more OCD than me. He is unbelievable.
Yeah,
he has systems that monitor systems.
We missed him by about 30, 45 minutes, I think, TJ.
I don't remember.
Is what their staff told me. They took us on a pit room tour and all that good stuff. We were chatting it up. I told them I was opening a barbecue restaurant. And I think he had left like 30, 45 minutes before we got there. But yeah, we'll have to meet him someday. Jackson, reach out to me on Instagram, man. I need to see what you're doing for Keith. See if you can help me out.
I think anybody could benefit from what this guy's doing. I finally, 31 days in, I've got a guy going to start running the cutting board from 10 to 2, Wednesday through Friday, and I actually get to go out and start building community and start marketing.
Very good.
We got to keep it going.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's a very, like I said, I know you've got business experience, obviously. The very intelligent move. That's one thing that I'm trying to get to a point where I'm working on training the light staff that I have to be able to, at some point, be able to run the business primarily. That way I can get out in the community and do stuff. Because like I talk to TJ and I talk to Greg from Brisket Daddy Barbecue all the time about, man, I need to reach out to these food bloggers. I need to do this. I need to do that. And the TJ's like, did you do it? And I'm like, no. I'm just like, man, I've been smoking brisket for 12 hours today. I've been washing dishes the last 30 minutes. I'm like, no, I ain't done that yet. You know what I mean?
I had to kick him off the cutting board that last Sunday. The last day I was there, I kicked him off the cutting board and ran the cutting board for him for my own experience, and so he could go mingle with the customers and do all that. I mean, because that's the biggest thing I feel for all of us. Are going to be like that moment when you're going to step away from that cutting board and
Yep.
the running of all the other things. Is it's scary because it's like you want to keep that consistency, you want to keep all that stuff, but for you to be able to grow, they want to talk to the owners, they want all that other stuff, the experience, because that's what's going to go further in the long run anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I love telling the story at the cutting board. I thought that was important for the first at least 30 days was to communicate with every customer that came in about why we were different and what makes us different and what our mission statement is in creating a good food experience. And luckily, I've got my wife running the cashier, and she's the one that can bounce out into the customer area and, make the small talk. She's like the little queen barbecue queen. I mean, they love her. She came up with this sweet tea concept on her own. She has Florida sweet tea and Georgia sweet tea. It's the funniest thing in the world. And of course, everybody asks, well, what's the difference? And she says, well, Florida sweet tea is just regular sweet tea, but Georgia sweet tea, we put extra sugar in
There you go.
because you're extra sweet.
I like that. I like that.
She's having fun with it. And
No, that's
she
good.
treats everybody so well. I mean, it's amazing how much she's taken to this because she has no restaurant experience, no hospitality experience at all. And it just goes to show that even if you're small, effort goes a long way. It really does.
Awesome.
I'm glad you said that because it's like that's like feeling the love in the food. Like, a big ingredient is the love that you put into the food, the passion for it. So if you're excited about it and you're having fun, that branches off. That becomes infectious to the people that you're serving. The restaurant I went to, granted, I was the third customer. I went in there on a Wednesday and ordered, and the cashier didn't know nothing. The cutter was just didn't want to be bothered. It was a miserable experience. And they seem to have a lot of staff. And I was like, how are y'all not even ready to be up and running? I mean, you're open the door and there's no energy. It's just dread. Just dread.
That's the scary thing about getting away from the cutting board is making sure that whoever we put there is still the face of the business and still telling the story.
Yeah,
Because
but you guys,
I'm never going to trash another restaurant to a customer inside our restaurant. I think it's just better to highlight what makes us different and that we make everything from scratch. We don't buy anything from Cisco that's pre-prepared. And we just keep reinforcing that to them.
right. Well, you guys as leadership, you and your wives, is going to bleed into your staff. And if you guys do what you got to do to keep the people that you open with as much, obviously you're going to have turnover, right? But if you can kind of keep those core people with you that were with you when you opened, it's going to go a long way. I've seen it in all the openings of restaurants that I've done. It's like that first group of people that open the restaurant, they take a certain pride in the food and the customer service that you'll just never be able to replicate. And so that's one thing I would tell you is, man, just try to keep those OGs, man. Try to keep those originals as much as you can.
It was scary turning the pit over to a couple guys. Because I mean, that's your livelihood sitting out there on that smoker.
Did you
Yeah.
train them?
Things
Are they trained pit masters from you, or
Yeah.
did they already have experience?
Nope. One of them had worked at a barbecue place and just done pre-prep, little meat trim and getting meats ready to go on. But neither of them had ever really cooked a pit.
Wow.
And I had everything laid out, how I do it. I showed them how I do it. We reinforced several times and you gotta take the training wheels off sooner or later. And so
Hey,
far,
at least they didn't have
we
bad
did it.
habits. They didn't
Yeah.
have bad habits. That's the bright side.
we've had a couple days where the briskets weren't a 10 out of 10, but the customers didn't notice. They were still, 8.5s. I hit a couple lean sides that for me, they weren't servable. So I just put them up and moved on to the next brisket and,
Yeah.
put those out for beans the next day. But for the most part, the guys have really followed the way I want the meats cooked.
Very good. Very good. So, what are you serving exactly? Kind of, what does your menu consist of? I know Florida is a different market than New Orleans. Florida is a different market than Texas. Obviously, it seems like obviously you have the Kansas City background, but you were really inspired by Texas barbecue. So,
Yep.
what does your menu kind of look like? What are you guys selling?
So on the protein side, the big sellers are brisket and ribs. We're doing St. Louis cut. We're using 3.25 pound average rack Prairie Fresh. And it's been pretty good bone size. I'm happy with them. We also do turkey. We do sausage, but we don't do an in-house sausage program. We don't have the time or space for it right now.
Okay.
We
You
do
gotta
peach habanero,
You got to get with
pork belly burn ends.
you got to get with me and TJ on that, on the sausage. TJ
Yeah.
TJ is becoming a sausage sensei. That dude's sausage is legit. Mine's pretty fucking good. I ain't gonna lie. Excuse my language, but TJ's becoming a sausage kind of master over there, man.
Got all
I'm telling you, Keith, when you get to a point where you want to do sausage, it is
Right.
a game changer, man, because just like you were saying about how you're able to tell all the customers, like you make everything from scratch, everything like that. When you're able to tell them that you make your sausage in house, man, it just takes their excitement up a whole nother level, man.
It does.
I
A good
know.
sausage at a place is just, it's phenomenal.
Because
Right now
in
we're
Texas,
sourcing a white cheddar with mild jalapeno sausage from U.S. Foods.
okay,
It's a decent 1/4 pound link. It's pork and beef combo.
yep,
People like it.
What's your
It's
food
okay.
cost on that?
They're 1/4 pound links. I'm at $1.30 a link.
okay, okay.
We retail them for $6.95.
Okay. So, man, sausage is we could get into a million topics on sausage, TJ and Keith. But like making it in a house, you'll definitely get that cost down. The consistency, I mean, if you got a good
Yeah.
recipe and you got good staff, like you'll be able to get it down eventually. But that's something to think about. It's something to think. In Florida, I don't even know if it's necessary, to be honest. Here
Right.
in Texas, like everybody's if you don't make your own sausage, you're not a real pit master in Texas. Like, so that's something I had to try and figure out as best as I could, as quickly as I could. But
we serve a lot of pulled pork here.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we go through as many pork butts as we do briskets daily.
That's phenomenal for your profit.
Yeah, and Titusville, I mean, you've got two sides to the community here. You've got the tourist side and the retired side, which has money, but then you've got a blue collar side. So we do a pulled pork sandwich for $8.50 out the door.
Sheesh.
I want them to be able to buy a sandwich out the door for under $10.
I love that.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Our margins, they're still okay. I mean, commodity pork butts are
No,
down
yeah.
at $1.60 a pound right now.
Jesus. Right where I'm at, it's around 2. Oh.
Yeah, should be
Which is
going
still
down
a good
for you.
price.
You said, hold on, you
Yeah.
said how much a pound?
About $1.60.
How much?
$1.60.
Oh, dollars. I thought you said 16. I was like, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
We did try and run Creekstone Prime brisket for the first couple of weeks, but the cost is just too high.
Okay. Here's a question for you. So the prices they have online on their website, is that the same prices you were buying it at?
No, we were buying through the Creekstone main distributor here in Florida.
So what was the price difference? Because online they're going for
It's-
I
yeah.
know they have different options, but on average they're going for like $100, 160, 175 a brisket, which I thought was ridiculous. How much were you getting it like wholesale?
$9.60 a pound.
That's still very expensive.
Up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
we
lot.
made the decision like 10 days in. We're just going to go with we're using the U.S. Food Sterling Silver upper 2/3 choice
There you
briskets.
go. There you go.
So did you do a comparison, or did you notice a huge difference drop into that?
We did some side-by-side testing. Obviously, you've got more trim loss with the choice versus the prime. We were still coming up with about the same percentage servable after cooking, though. So for the cost difference, I mean, we're getting the sterling silver at $5.05 a pound, which is almost half.
Yep.
Yes.
Just makes more sense.
It's a no-brainer.
But-
TJ and I, how many times have we talked about this, TJ?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't see paying $200 for a brisket to charge $40 a pound and then complain, as I've seen on YouTube. The individuals like, yeah, I don't make any money on my briskets because, well, yeah, you might as well be buying Wagyu briskets and saying, yeah, I'll sell all brisket all day long, but I'm not going to make any money on it. I make money on my sides. Like, that doesn't make sense. I mean,
So-
come on.
Greg, I see you. I'll bring you up here in a second. So Keith, let me ask you this, man. What does Creekstone do for you outside of the brisket? Because I was talking to TJ about this and I was like, man, I don't, unless they're doing some ridiculous type of marketing for you, like unbelievable marketing for you, I just don't see the value in it, because I've cooked a lot of briskets of a lot of different companies, a lot of different caliber of brisket. And I'm telling you, if you know what you're doing with the upper 2/3 choice brisket, it'll taste better than a prime off of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So
Yep.
like, what were they doing for you? Like, was there any benefit?
Nothing. I was just stuck on the Creekstone name from some of the research we'd done going through Texas last year, talking to some of the other barbecue places there that were big on Creekstone.
What was their reasoning though behind paying that much for the brisket?
Well, of course, at that time, Creekstone Prime was like $5.60 a pound.
But they're not locked into that price. There's no way. Creekstone's not cutting them that deal. There's no way.
Well, back a year ago, that was about the going rate for Creekstone Prime. It wasn't until about March of this year that it started jumping up north of $6 a pound, and it just went crazy this summer. Of course, all briskets went up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're talking about going north of 6. When you say north of 6, though, you're going all the way up to 9. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we served it the first 6-7 days, and then I said, no, that's not going to work long term. But it was fun cooking them for the first 10 days. I mean, they're beautifully marbled briskets. They are. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of reasons to love a Creekstone brisket, but I just feel we're still putting out really good brisket.
Yep. I had a conversation with a customer today about the whole prime versus choice, this, that, and the other. And I was telling him, I was like, because he was like, man, your brisket's fantastic. What kind of prime brisket are you using? I'm like, that's not prime, man. I said, that's a choice brisket. I said, if you know what you're doing with the choice brisket, it's going to taste just as good as a prime from somewhere else. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Brisket Daddy Barbecue, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the
What's
stream.
going on? What's going
Good
on,
evening,
man?
Greg.
Good evening, TJ.
Have
How are
you
you
caught
doing?
Have you caught any of the conversation?
No, man. I think we're just talking about brisket, price of brisket, quality of brisket, and the type of cook that renders out, right?
Yeah, let me catch you up to speed. We got Keith from Sugar Shack Barbecue coming out of Florida. outside of the Orlando area, correct?
Yep, 45 minutes east of Orlando.
Okay. And Keith opened his barbecue restaurant at the beginning of July. 30 days in, he's done $56,000 in sales.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Killing
Yeah.
it. Anybody in
Huh?
Florida, Titusville, Florida, to be specific, 45 minutes outside of Orlando, or if you're traveling through Florida, go check out Sugar Shack Barbecue for sure.
How many tables you have?
We have 9 4-tops.
Wow. And this is a new building with the full build out and everything, or what's the details on the facility?
We had some 3-bay plumbing, and that was about it. We had to put in a hood, did about $6,000 in electrical, couple grand in HVAC, another couple grand in window tinting.
TJ, feel free to send Hope's Smoke the link, if you will.
You got his number.
So, Keith, it's okay if you don't want to share this number, but I think it might be interesting just for the audience to reference.
I am curious to cut you off real quick before you ask about numbers.
Yep.
How many briskets are you cooking for a day's cook? Out of curiosity.
Wednesdays and Sundays are our slowest day. We're doing 5 to 6. And then Fridays and Saturdays, we're doing close to 10.
Okay.
And like I said, if you don't want to share this number, don't worry about it. But about how much do you think you have invested into getting the restaurant open?
Including small wares and everything?
Yes, sir. If you had an estimate, just give me an estimate, ballpark.
Every time I turn around, I'm ordering something from Amazon or Webster store. It seems like.
So he's still investing.
I would say we're about 150,000 invested at this point.
Okay.
Right in that number, including our pet.
That's better than I thought, to be honest. That's better than I thought. So 150,000 invested, but you've done 56 grand in the last 30 days. Obviously, guys, that's not profit, right? So, it's going to take some time to recoup that, but that's business, right? That's how it goes. That's how it works. But honestly, Keith, that is a lot less than I thought you were going to say. And I'm happy to hear that that's a lot less, because you guys are going to be turning a profit real quick and building something I think is going to be very sustainable and great for your area.
Well, unfortunately, even if you're doing 60,000 a month and you're doing everything right, you're only going to be taking home about $6,000. That's a pretty long payback for that 150, 160 grand.
It is, but there are some strategies. There are some ways to increase that profit margin, which we could definitely talk about offline. That we could definitely get that up a little bit, that profit margin up for sure.
I hope so.
No, 100%.
You're still in the first month of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
come on.
Like,
Don't beat yourself up.
I'm telling you right now that, like, you're looking at, so if you're at 56, we'll just round up to 60, and you're saying $6,000, that's 10% profit margin. We can get you minimum to 15, maybe 20%. We can get you to 20% profit. Dude, you're sitting pretty. You're sitting pretty.
15 to 20% running barbecue would be sweet.
You can do it. You can do it. I've been running some numbers and some things. You can certainly do it. It's going to take some number crunching, but I think you can get there, Keith. We can get you there for sure.
Those fresh ingredients cost money, though.
They do. They do.
That's
I'm just
why it's
glad to see
important.
eggs going down.
Yeah. That's why it's important. Like, say the things that you're outsourcing the sausage, that you're gonna get. Once you kind of streamline that process and have it established, it's gonna pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
It'll pay off in the long run to have your own.
because as you know from your smoke shop business, like when you run your P&L, every little penny counts on that P&L. And you changing from Creekstone to a choice brisket, you going from buying sausage, like TJ said, to make it in-house with the pork butt you're already purchasing for your pulled pork, with the beef trimmings you're already purchasing from your brisket, the rib trimmings you're already purchasing from your ribs. You know, it's stuff like that. You can take this and take that, and all of a sudden your P&L starts looking a lot prettier.
Yeah, I've got so much brisket trim in the freezer. It's crazy.
There you go, man. You got a month's worth of
So-
sausage right there.
So let me ask you, do you you know, a good thing for that too is doing smoked brisket burgers. You're you know, that's brisket. Like you grind it up.
Our best friend has the best burger place in the county, a block away from us.
Oh,
And
I'm not going to step on his toe, but we are
it's
doing
not step- you're
that
not opening a
Dubai
burger place.
taco. Sean, have you seen Jeremy and the Dubai taco video?
I have not. I have not.
You know it's Jeremy I'm talking about, the YouTube influencer,
I think so. I believe so.
the
Yes.
mad scientist
Yes.
of barbecue.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jeremy
he's-
Yoder.
Yoder.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jeremy Yoder. So he flew over to Dubai to do an interview at a Texas style barbecue place in Dubai.
Wow.
And came home with a taco recipe for brisket trim.
Okay.
We put it on the menu this week. It's basically a smash burger on a tortilla,
Okay.
but it's got all these Middle Eastern spices in it, like cardamom and nutmeg, and it's really, really good.
Okay.
We sold, I don't know, 40, 50 of the things in 3 days.
There you
So I feel, and Sean can back me up on. I feel the marketability, the profitability on doing something like that with your brisket trims over just throwing it into the sausage. You're gonna have a higher profitability with something along the lines of that. Brisket smash burgers, brisket tacos, things like that. Like it's I'm not a huge fan of putting a lot of the brisket trimmings into my sausage because it's a texture thing for me. Because you got too much, it's going to be more grainy. Texas does like that, but I generally lean more to just straight up pork for my sausage, and try and find
Now,
a different avenue for my trim.
we did burrito tacos the week before with some extra pork butt,
So
but we
you
haven't had a lot of extra pork left over at this point.
No, I meant like I use the brisket trimmings for other stuff other than just tossing it in my sausage. So obviously, your pork, you're not gonna have a lot of leftover trimmings, but that's just ordering a couple extra pork butts to make your sausage.
Yep.
Because you're already ordering that anyway. So a lot of them like to take the rib trimmings mixed in with your pork butts that you basically that Sean's is his base, and then
One
toss it in your
problem I
brisket
have
one.
though, I don't have a walk-in.
Yeah.
you're running into the same issue I am.
I told you we were a lot alike, Sean.
Yeah.
I have 3 2-door reefers
Okay.
and a 16 cubic foot chest freezer, and that's it.
Dude, to do the volume that you've done with that amount of refrigeration is ridiculous.
We're ordering
Yeah.
twice a week. And
How many food warmers do you have?
What's that?
How many food warmers do you have?
3.
3? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're running 3.
Very nice. Greg, you're quiet over there, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at his reviews, his menu, his pricing, just getting some background. You have really good reviews. I'm looking at his menu now. He's pricing his brisket at $51 a pound. I believe that's 17 on the half pound. Yeah, very successful.
You
Looks
said
really
you
good.
said $51 a pound.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 34 a pound.
I was about to
sorry.
say.
I must be doing something wrong if he's trying to
Yeah, I
make
know.
it
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
we did a lot of research. I spent a lot of time in Texas last summer, so other than that, I mean, it's just how do I get from 2,500 a day to 3,500 a day? That's the next hill.
Yeah.
With the same labor about.
Right.
it's gonna be exactly what you said you were gonna do. Is you getting out of the restaurant, going out into the community, and making things happen. That's what it's gonna be, because there's honestly not a huge difference labor wise between 2,500 and 3,500 in sales. It's the beginning part of it that you need a certain amount of people just to open the doors. But
Yeah.
once you're open, I mean, going from 2,500 to 3,500, it's not going to be that much labor. So you're 100% right. That's your, that's your next step. Once you get out in the community, you start building it, start growing it. I mean, you'll be fine. I remember when I was running a gourmet burger restaurant. We made everything from scratch, ground our beef in house. These big old slabs of beef. Had a walk-in cooler specifically. We had 2 walk-in coolers, one for all of our prep stuff, and then we had 1 walk-in cooler specifically for our meat grinder. And it was just meat in there and the grinder and everything. And some of our busiest restaurants were doing 80 grand a week. And the difference between doing 80 grand a week and 50 grand a week staff wise, it wasn't as much as you think. And so you're gonna do it, man. I'm excited for you. I really am. I truly mean that. It's cool to see people who, I know you kind of already had this in the works before probably even watching my videos, but it's cool to see people from the community doing big stuff like that, man. So once again, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, our 30-day free DoorDash period just ended, unfortunately.
What'd you get from that?
It's already. What's that?
What'd you get from that though? Did you get a
get
lot?
like this.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say 4% of our income, 5% of our income. It's incremental, but we didn't have to pay any commission on it for the first 30
Yeah.
days, and now we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So our prices we did what every other restaurant does. You jack your prices to the max they'll allow, which is 20% higher, and then you eat 10%.
That's
But
how you do it, huh?
we're using
Yeah.
a point of sale system called Hunger Rush that is specifically designed for independent pizza operators that do their own delivery. And we're actually going to be putting our own delivery going.
Very
There
nice.
you go. That's an idea.
That's going to be fun.
That'll be big for you, man. That'll be big for you, especially because you said you have that RV park there. You've got a lot of retirees in that area.
Yeah,
and
ton of
things
condo
like that.
complexes.
Yeah,
So-
you'll get a lot of delivery.
Yeah, this week I'm going to go out and put door hangers out in some of the condo complexes because, we want to get that out there that we're doing our own delivery.
Mhm.
With the RV park, get with the management there about getting your stuff, put it in their welcome packets.
Well, yeah, it's our landlord, so we're already plastered on everything over there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a huge RV park. It's probably, I don't know, 60 spaces, but
It's still
every
something,
bit
and it's
of
a constant
incremental.
flow of new people coming in.
It is definitely. Yeah, we're really lucky. The main competitor is a mile and a half from us, and they're in a 120 seat operation over there. They're at their 2-year anniversary, and their parking lot's been empty at lunch for the past few weeks. So we know where some of those people went.
Okay, good deal. So Greg, man, what's been going on with you post Mexico, man? What's
Yeah.
up, man? You're back. Are you jet lagged? You look a little relaxed? You look a little tired? A little like, man, what's going
man.
on, bro?
I'm jet lagged, tired. I've been moving since I got back. I can't even remember what I've been doing. I cooked 2 briskets. I went up to spend some time with a friend in Bodega Bay, Doran Beach. So I cooked up a brisket and cooked some food for him. And we went up there and made some pizzas. And I think I sent you some photos of that. If you get a chance, you may be able to throw those up. I have a new item I want to add to my menu, and I don't know how to do that. Um,
Brisket
but
pizza is good, but
it's very
it's
good.
not easy.
Yeah, it was very good. So my cooking brisket skills is just again taken to the next level. Starting my cook at like 200 degrees, and then gradually just building my fire up. And it's been amazing. I've tried to have some really amazing cooks this past weekend. I'm really happy about it. But just kind of taking it slow. I've had some media production stuff going on, and same with next week. Next week's a little bit challenging because I have a catering event on Saturday, and I'm out of town working Tuesday through Friday night. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a cook done for Saturday evening. Okay, so yeah, here we are. It's me and my buddy Lance, and we
Hold
just
on, buddy.
finished the pizza.
Hold on.
Yeah, that was the video. The video may not play,
I'm
but I
having
did
some
give you
technical
you some
difficulties. Hold on.
before and after photo. What about you, TJ? You selling some links?
I sold some a couple weeks ago. I still have some inventory anyway that's all sealed up. But I've
Okay.
been out injured. I've been out injured right
Oh
now. Like
wow.
my back, just like you had your thing. I'm
Yeah.
fighting that right now.
Yeah. 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 I'm
So,
feeling a little bit better. It's still a little bit of pain, but at least it's manageable. Go ahead, Sean.
so those pizzas you'll be able to sell with that PRM trailer with the pizza oven, huh?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Sure would. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. We did brisket, some purple onions, and jalapenos. It was and some barbecue sauce. It was great.
Okay.
It was a great ad. I love that. I love selling the fair food.
Yeah.
The brisket sandwich, the brisket fries, and the brisket pizza,
Yeah.
and the brisket loaded potato. All great items. I encourage all three of you gentlemen to add that to your menu.
So Keith,
Or a
um,
cut.
what advice would you give to Greg and TJ on opening a barbecue restaurant, or the trailer route, the pop-up route, so on and so forth, in a market that isn't really known for Texas style barbecue? What have you seen that has been successful for you? What has worked? What advice would you give people, not only these two gentlemen, but everybody watching, opening a barbecue concept in a area that isn't flooded with barbecue like my own?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just telling the story of why Texas style barbecue is what it is. It's not about the sweet sauces and drowning the meat and hiding the flavor. It's about enhancing the flavor of the meat and letting the meat itself shine. And we always tell people we are real heavy on the black pepper on our brisket and ribs, and we do not apologize for it. And I've had one lady from Kansas City come in, and she was kind of hem-hawing, and I really wanted her to buy something else, but she still said she wanted to try the ribs, and then she's over there with a knife trying to scrape black pepper off the
Oh my
ribs.
god.
And then they trashed us in a local Facebook group over it. And
Oh
of course, a bunch
no.
of people came to our rescue and said, hey, but I just think it's about getting that story across of why that style of cooking is unique and why it's predominant and why it's such a lifestyle in Texas. I think once people understand uh, the culture a little bit, then they latch onto the story too a little bit and want to experiment and try all the different meats.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Greg, what questions do you have, man? You're thinking over there. I know you always got something something brewing.
Yeah, so I there's a place here in town. I'm not for sure if it's a bar or club, and they're looking for somebody to provide food services for, I guess, on the weekends, between like 6 and 10 p.m. I haven't seen the facility, haven't seen the kitchen. I'd be like a whole independent doing my own thing. And so I was just really looking from Keith about, again, what it would take, how you became successful in that area when it's not all that popular. It's not popular out here either, but I think I have a really good opportunity if this pans out to be able to, sell some brisket sandwiches or something like that in the nightclub. Um, I'm just a little bit nervous about it because I feel like the whole restaurant thing, you got to really be committed to it, married to it. You're working every day. What's your thoughts about that?
Are you in Utah?
No, I'm in Sacramento,
California.
California.
Scally?
Yeah,
I mean, there's some great barbecue places out there in Cali, Heritage, and I mean, that have
yeah.
made huge names for themselves.
Southern
Texas style.
California. That's a
Yeah.
lot in Southern California. Yeah,
Yeah. Are you up in the other part of the state?
Northern.
How far
I don't
north?
think it's. I don't think it's a matter of it being not popular. It's not saturated.
Yes.
So it's not saturated where Keith is at. It's not saturated where you're at. It's kind of getting a little saturated now where I'm at, but not to the level where Sean is at. So it's still newer to the area, but the big thing is it's not saturated. It's established. It's established worldwide. You have people like Keith said, Jeremy Yoder went over to Dubai because the guy has Texas barbecue over there. It is worldwide. It's just the area, it's not saturated with just that. Sean's completely saturated with it.
I mean,
So
I know
we'll
one
bring it-
thing.
I'm in the lion's den, man. I'm in the
When
lion's
people when people drink, they like to eat.
Yes.
Yes.
And that will be a big thing for you to be at
I
the
mean,
but
yeah.
then you're doing 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. every weekend. That's a big commitment.
It's a
And-
big
You can keep it so simple in the beginning, just brisket sandwiches and maybe pulled pork Sammys, and keep it simple with Sammys, and they'll eat them up.
And when
I-
people are
I've-
drunk,
I've-
they don't care what they got to pay to sober up.
I've seen how you cook, so you know they're going to eat it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You already
You just
got
got
the
to come to
fryer.
terms. You just have to come to terms with the establishment owner on, are they just going to give you use of their kitchen and you keep everything on your own books on the food side and food sales, or how's that going to work between you two?
Yeah. That's some questions that I have also. So as soon as I hear from them, I was definitely going to be hitting Sean up.
It may be also, I missed a little bit of the conversation, bathroom break, but it may be a good way too for you to get consistent income out of this without going the restaurant route, because I know that's not something you're ready to do at the moment. And so, right now you're kind of chasing the money, doing the caterings and the pop-ups and stuff like that. This might be a way for you to, like I said, have a consistent income stream coming from this, as well as continue to build your brand and not have to chase all of that money.
Yeah.
I always say just don't do anything like that on a handshake. Get it in written contract so everybody knows what's going on.
Yep. Will do. Thank you. That's some great information.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is do a handshake deal, and he says, "Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm going to charge you $600 a month or a weekend for use of my kitchen," and
And he will once he starts seeing you making money.
Yeah,
dropping
right.
off Sammys.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was really happy about the opportunity because now people are always saying, "Hey, where are you located? Where are you at? How do I find you?" And my answer is social media. And if they're over a certain age, that's just not happening, right? So it was going to be kind of good in a way to say, oh, I'm at, J and 16th Street at the whatever location, the Flamingo House, right?
Yep.
So at least it'll give me a location where people can know where to come to get my food.
I have a friend that's doing a pop-up gig permanently at a brewery that doesn't serve food. And they're there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Still has the rest of the
Mhm.
week to himself, and they're
Mhm.
making good money.
Yeah,
He's got
the
a paycheck,
breweries are
Sean.
huge.
Yeah, for everyone watching, just listen to this. Okay, if you want a paycheck, don't open a brick and mortar.
No.
If you want a paycheck, do a pop-up, do a catering business, do all these things that we talk about on the YouTube channel. If you want a paycheck, if you want to work for free, open a brick and mortar.
Yeah, my wife will be coming home in 30 minutes asking where her paycheck is.
I told you, tell her it's in the mail.
Hey, Sean, the
Yeah.
gentleman that was online last week,
Smack
Uh,
Daddy's barbecue.
Smack Daddy, yep.
Yep.
Did
Smack
he
Daddy.
check in with you this week? Did he
Yep.
go out during the weekday or weekend?
No, man. It was raining. It was raining all weekend. He decided not to go out this weekend because of the rain. But yeah, we spoke over text. We spoke over
Okay.
text. Yep.
And we haven't heard from him online tonight. We don't know if he's online watching.
I don't know if he's on live,
Oh.
man. I don't know if he's on. I haven't heard nothing.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah,
I was looking through the comments here. I don't see
What's
him
that
either.
from?
But there was something I didn't speak on last week that I wanted to give him a round of applause and encourage him about. And he was talking about getting his hand washing station and keeping things like clean and tidy. And I forgot to speak on that and wanted to let him know like that was one thing that my customers really like is that the details, the small details of hand washing and keeping the space clean and kind of being more professional than the other just pop-up guys around town was really what drew a good customer base and gave people the reassurance that our food is good, it's clean, and so I just wanted to if you're watching Smack Daddy, just wanted to let you know like keep up that good work. It's the details, the small details that matter. Keith, can you speak on that by any chance in regards to some details or what sets you apart from some of the competitors in your area?
I think the biggest thing that sets us apart is we feel that the side dishes or accompanying dishes need to be as memorable as the proteins.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the big thing.
What are you doing for sides?
He's got a lot of them.
We're doing 2 colds and 6 hots.
Damn.
We've got potato salad and coleslaw, and then on the hots we've got the beans, dirty rice. We're doing a 3-way dirty rice, and then we just took. Wow, we're getting a big storm. We just took corn pudding off the menu. We're going to go to Cobbetts next week. We're doing a smoked Gouda and white cheddar mac and cheese, and then my grandma's tater tot casserole recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very
And
nice.
how many people does it take to just open up the door for the Thursday service, prep cook service?
Prep and kitchen is 2, and then pit we have 2 also. So
And
for
then the front counter.
my wife and I. I'm finally going to have somebody run the cutting board this next week so I can get out and start doing some marketing. But
There you go.
we wanted to run the first month with just my wife and I on the line. It's
Very
all
nice.
about dialing it in.
I'm assuming you trained your new cutter pretty well.
Yeah. He shadowed me for a couple days this week, and he's got a lot of restaurant experience, and plus he's a local in the area his whole life. So I think that'll translate pretty good.
Very cool. You have an advantage that a lot of barbecue restaurants, obviously you went to all these big barbecue restaurants and kind of saw how it worked and everything. Unfortunately, in the way my restaurant's set up, man, they don't see the kitchen, they don't see the cutter, you know. So it's even more on my front of house staff, the young lady I have working for me, Savea, as well as my wife, to really try to give them that homey experience out on the patio, because there's no open face cutting board. They're not seeing it being cut for them and things like that. So, hey, so we really try to, you know, have the customer service from the front of house perspective. Give me a second.
Yeah, I was looking at your site, Keith. Looking at your reviews and stuff. You got a good review just yesterday. It looks like from a customer that came in and got some food from you. Just kudos on that. Definitely.
Yeah, we've done our best to stay engaged on both Google and Facebook. Our Facebook following is over almost at 1,000 now, and it's all local. And we're also in all the local city groups and foodie groups in the county, and just trying to stay engaged there quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Jackson send me his rates, man. Jackson gonna have to send me his rates.
I asked him ahead of time. I said, if Sean wants you on the show to share some of your secrets, would you be willing to go on? And I'm sure he would. I mean, just the guy has done such a remarkable job on our business Facebook page. It's just made a world of difference. Because I ask every person that comes in the door first, how did you hear about us? And I would say it's 50-50 Facebook and others.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for this restaurant, I didn't think Facebook had any traction anymore.
Everybody's on Facebook.
I thought it was dead, Sean.
I hate Facebook. I can't stand Facebook. Can't stand it. But yeah, no.
Some people live by it. Some people live by it.
I mean, we floated through 30 days with, 25 days of service and 12 sellouts and 9 near sellouts because of Facebook. So I'm sending Zuckerberg a gift of some kind this year. I don't know what, but...
Any plans for a website or anything like that?
I haven't even turned on our regular website. We've got an online ordering platform UI through our point of sale provider, and I just need to do the DNS and get the website turned on at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a task for tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yeah, when you have the, are you on Instagram or even TikTok?
We're on Instagram.
Okay.
So we're sending a few reels across to our Instagram page, but still focusing mainly on Facebook just for the instant engagement.
Very cool. Very cool. Eli, I see you, brother. I'm going to bring you up right now. What's going on, Eli? Hope Smokes Barbecue.
What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Eli, I'm sure Keith has maybe have seen you on one or two of the lives, man. Keith went to a bunch of top barbecue places in Texas, but he forgot to stop in San Antonio and check out my boy Eli from Hope Smoke. So Eli, tell him what you got going on, man.
Hey, Keith, congratulations, by the way. That's awesome to hear on
Thanks.
Everything you got going on. That's really the goals and everything. I'm just doing I just do pop-ups from here and there, and then we invested in a trailer, and I'm still working my 8 to 5. My goal, I've talked about it on here, is just trying to pay off as much as I can and have it kind of I want to try to minimize how much I'm going into having to sell, right? I got to sell at least 25, of this just to make it even, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to minimize it, trying to get as much equipment, the trailer, warmers, all that stuff. So, and then going to see how it goes.
If I was 30 years younger, I'd be going that same route.
Just to, but I mean, that's a crazy amount of success you had on the first, in July. Really sounds like if you and Sean and that group just like kind of like trim it down or find this and that, I mean, you're already doing really good numbers. It sounds like, but
Yeah, we still have some pivots to make, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to put a little bit more money into the space that I don't want to spend, but I'm gonna have to because we have no insulation up on the ceiling.
Mhm.
We have a 5-inch cement roof over metal,
Oh,
and it
shit.
just radiates heat down into our space.
Mm.
It's insane.
Well, I think it's going to pay off, man. I mean, you're already doing great numbers. Like, to do that amount of, obviously, it's an opening month, right?
Mhm.
Opening days, opening weeks, opening months typically are a little bit inflated, right? But you're doing the back end work and essentially really the front end work of going out there. You're going to be getting out there and really branding and marketing. You're going to keep it rolling. I know you're going to, bro. Or sir, I should say sir.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You're going to do it, man.
We have 2 local high schools in Titusville. We're going to do some type of sponsorship with the marching bands for the high schools.
There you go.
The football team gets all the love, and nobody gives any love to the marching band. We're going to be the oddball that gives the marching band some love.
There you go.
There you
Their
go.
parents eat barbecue too, so other than that, we're just going to try and build community. But we're doing some old school stuff too, Sean. We're going to do door hangers.
There you go.
I've already got door hangers printed with QR codes, and I want
Yep.
to get our delivery going.
It
Sean,
works, dude.
I was saying that, Sean. I wanted to see you do some of those too, man.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff in the back end. I'm working, I like to just launch stuff. I like to just roll stuff out, all covert, secretive. I'm working on some stuff.
Sean, remember you're in an older generation market.
Yeah.
And I used to work at Papa John's 20 plus years ago. And man, we did door hangers all the time. It's not a bad idea. It's old school. I mean, and it's effective.
Yeah,
They got to
Effective. You
open their
also
door
have
when they come home.
right.
yeah.
They don't got to check their mail. They don't got to check their email. They don't got to check their voicemail, but they got to open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad
Absolutely.
idea at all.
So, Keith, how have you heard anything from the other barbecue establishment not too far from you? Have you had any interactions online? Anything, any crazy stories, or how's that gone? Have you met the owners of that place, or how's that going? Because I
The
too,
owners come in.
I'm within a mile of a barbecue place that's been in business for almost 12 years.
Yeah. The owner came in twice, once during build out when it was chaotic, and then during our first week, he wanted to try the pork belly burn ends. At least that's what he said. I think he was just trying to see how many people we had in the place at the time. But it's an interesting situation. Like I said, he was the ex-pastor at a huge non-denominational church, and the congregation kind of propped his Google rating up for a while. He's a 4.6,
Okay.
and he doesn't have 4.6 food. So that kind of scared me from opening there too at first because I looked at that Google rating, but then we went and ate there, and I felt better after we ate there because I just signed the lease. And I don't know. I mean, it's just the difference between us prepping everything fresh every day and he's buying stuff from Cisco.
Okay. Okay.
That's the difference. I think they
Okay,
can cook good
Keith,
food. They've got
Hey,
a
gloves
Southern
are off,
fried.
baby. Gloves
the
are off.
the longer we're live, the more Keith is lightening up, man. You sure you don't have some
Yep.
scotch by you like me or what? What's going on here?
I mean, am I
Did you guys-
competitive? Hell yeah.
Did
Do I
you
think
guys
there's
talk
enough
about
room
this?
for both of us? Yeah.
Very nice.
There's enough barbecue eaters in the community. We also have a third restaurant, which is a Southern chain. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sonny's.
Sonny's?
Yeah,
Where at?
in Florida and Georgia, and I don't know how many locations they have. originated in the 90s. They actually used to make a really good barbecue 40 years ago, 30 years ago. But
Jeez.
Well, they were
their ship
introduced to
has
the pre-made stuff, I'm sure.
yeah, that ship has sailed. They're an old tired brand that doesn't have much traction. They had 27 health violations in their last
Woo,
inspection a week ago.
yikes.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
No. Well, guys, if you're just tuning in, we got a couple people new in the chat. We've got Sleaze TV, aka Snack Daddy Barbecue, in the chat. Brisket Daddy was asking about that. We got some new people here in the chat just for you guys to know. We've got Keith from Sugar Shack Barbecue on. He opened their restaurant in Titusville, Florida, 45 minutes outside of Orlando, July 4th weekend, and done about 56 grand in sales in the last 30 days. Absolutely crushing it, dialing in, all the operational things, but he's doing well. I think you guys are having fun from what you said about you and the wife. You guys are having fun, making the
We
most
are.
of it.
We hurt everywhere, every day, but
Yeah,
we're having fun.
there you go. There you go.
How,
I know
how's your operation going?
it's going well, man. We actually had, surprisingly, we had a catering kind of save our weekend. The last couple of weeks, man, it's like you said, it's been a little rough because the end of summer is a little slow for restaurants. People are out of town, still taking last minute vacations, and getting school supplies and school clothes and stuff, spending all their money there. So it's always a little slow this time of year, but we had a last minute catering that kind of saved our weekend. We actually had our busiest weekend yet because of that catering, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we're moving, man. We're getting ready. We're planning some things for fall. I was able to keep my first staff member ever. I was able to keep her. She had a job offer somewhere else. We were able to keep her, and we're bringing on someone else a little bit more full time in the fall. So it's gonna be good. We just added another day. We just added Thursday, so we're open
Oh, you
Thursday,
did.
Sunday
You
now.
did Thursday this week.
We sure did. This was our second
Oh.
Thursday. This was our
Oh
second
wow,
Thursday.
second Thursday. Okay,
Yep.
okay. I thought you were gonna wait. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this was our second Thursday, and
You were out of country, Greg.
yeah, you were in
Sorry,
Mexico,
I must have
man.
missed that part.
You were in Mexico. So yeah, no, Keith, it's going well. We're in a saturated market. We're in a very skeptical market too of new barbecue restaurants. I think TJ and Greg will both tell you, like, people around here, they're a little skeptical about new barbecue places because it's a dime a dozen, and some people know how to do it, some people don't, and there's not really much in between.
I thought people always wanted to try the next new place.
They do, but they're going in with no expectations. Like, they're going in wanting to trash the place. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
They
they
were
have
more
this
inclined to wanna
elevated
hate.
sense of what Texas barbecue should be. And so you got to live up to what they think Texas barbecue should be and the prices that I'm charging too. Because, like, when I went to different barbecue places around the state, as you did, and I started trying people's brisket and seeing what they were pricing at, I'm like, man, my brisket is just as good or better. Why am I not charging that? And so I do charge that because I think it's up to par with them. And I'm like, for me, it's a sense of like, look, if that man's able to get that much for his brisket, and I think mine is just as good or better, I'm going to charge that much for my brisket. I don't care if I don't have a fancy location with a big old dining room, AC, and all that. If I think my food is just as good, that's what I'm going to charge. And so when people see that price and they see the location, it's an underdog location. I mean, these guys have been. It's an underdog location, and I'm in a saturated market. I got everything working against me, but I'm still charging premium prices. And so it's on me every day to deliver. And I'm not going to say every single day we deliver because no restaurant does, but we try our best. We try our best.
So, what did you speak on the details of the catering order already that you did? How'd you end up processing that order, labor wise and cook wise?
Like I was telling Keith earlier, you'd be surprised at how much more business you can do with the same amount of staff. right? And so I didn't have to, extra staff it or anything like that. We just got through it. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't a crazy order, but when you add that onto our bottom line, like this is something I'm excited for Keith. When I'm telling you, like, we can get your profit margin up to 15-20% on probably caterings alone, because you don't really need any more staff to do those caterings. You just have to strategically plan out how you're going to execute them. And it's just, it's pretty much just all added revenue. Like I spent $500 all in on this catering, and it was a $1,500 catering. I spent $500 all in, and that's being generous. And so that's $1,000 added to your bottom line. Keith, that's what you're talking about, of going from a $2,500 day to a $3,500 day. There it is right there.
Exactly.
In one catering gig.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Do you offer catering? Are you promoting that?
No. Okay. No, we wanted to go the first 90 days and make sure we have everything dialed in-house before we try and do out of house. I mean, we've done a couple of small birthday parties, $200 things, $300, but nothing really planned out ahead.
It's just a large order. Yeah.
You're gonna.
Yeah, that's.
But there again, like you said, your operation's not that different from mine size-wise, right? Location-wise, kitchen-wise. You start. What I think would be very beneficial is if you had, maybe you want to keep Jackson as a social media guy. He's also the manager of the smoke shop. He's probably got a lot of stuff on his plate right now. But if you can bring somebody on or take someone that's already in your other organization and have them be a catering coordinator, and you can start to add $2,000 to $4,000 a week in catering, your profit margin is going way up.
I've got a lifelong friend that he'd been taking care of his mom who had Alzheimer's real bad, and she finally passed, unfortunately. But he's got his life back again, and he hasn't worked in 10 years. He's a heck of a sales guy, so I've been trying to convince him to possibly come down in maybe October-ish and actually run the catering.
There you go.
Keith, I think your wife's home.
Is that the wife in the background looking for a paycheck?
My paycheck, yeah.
He's got your paycheck. He's got your paycheck.
I told him the truth.
Hello.
She wants to know where her paycheck is. Tell him.
Yeah, I want paycheck. I work so hard.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Yeah, I never stop. So I need paycheck.
Well, you are a brave woman for taking on this venture, but I think it's going to pay off for you guys. I'm loving seeing what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing about what you guys are doing out there. So kudos to you. I'm excited. You guys are going to do great.
The customer base loves her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said customer base.
She calls everybody honey. Everybody's honey.
Hey, we're in the South. You can do that.
Yep.
Yes.
There's no gender bias going on down here.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you in a minute. Yeah, she just got home.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
She's
this
probably
is the part
washing dishes.
this is the part of the show where I'm going to open up the chat for questions. We're going to open up Q&A. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and read them off to the guests. If you have a guest-specific question, please put their name in your comment. That way that we can make sure that they address that comment specifically. So yeah, go guys. I want to see at least 5 questions in the chat, guys. Come on.
You know I always start with the first question.
What you got?
Okay, Keith, what kind of smoker are you using and what kind of wood do you cook with?
We're on a Primitive Pits 1,000 gallon offset, and we're using native white oak. No post oak here, unfortunately.
Yep, same here. I got my first order of native white oak, valley oak is what they call it. I got my first order this week myself, so awesome. Yeah, I was taking a look at your smoker there. It's nice and big. Got some counterweights, a big insulated firebox. And how tall is that stack?
I don't remember how tall. I know how wide it is. I know it's an 11-inch diameter.
It's got some
Oh,
girth
okay.
to it.
Damn.
It's got some girth to it, Brisket Daddy. If that's what you ask it.
Yeah,
pulls
yes,
some
I
air.
understand. It does pull air. Yeah, it looks like it does. It looks like it's like almost 8-10 feet tall.
Yeah, it's to get it in there was an act of God, but somehow they got it manipulated.
So is it sitting on the backside of your building? Because the picture I seen up against some blue wall.
Yeah, we got a little courtyard on one side where it's protected from the elements on 2 or 3 sides, and then we put a little
Okay.
carport up over it.
And what does the city require or the county require in regards to
Man,
cooking
he's got it
outside?
easy. He's got it easy. No
We,
screened-in
we
walls, no hand sink, nothing, man.
no hand sink, no mop sink.
Wow.
He's
We
got
do
it
have a
easy.
carport.
He's got a $700 carport.
I'm
right.
gonna go ahead and answer something for Snack Daddy because he was talking to me last week about I am looking into the how to ship the sausage. I ordered some boxes, but I gotta find dry ice in my area. But I am working on that. I did want to tell him that he's watching the live right now.
So we got some
And let him
Jimmy's
know that.
barbecue sausages being shipped to a place near you soon.
I'm working on it.
Okay. What are we talking? We talking 10 days, 30 days? What are we talking, TJ?
I'm working on it. I got the shipping boxes that I think I can do because I'm gonna tell you right now, like you see all of them with the styrofoam. Those things are expensive, and nobody wants to tack on $50 for shipping.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, and dry ice is the way to go, but I gotta check and see what's locally available, and then I want to test it. I'll put a thermometer in a digital thermometer that's on the internet. I mean, on Wi-Fi. I'll leave it in a box in my garage and see how long it lasts,
Yeah.
because that will tell me how long it can be. But I've been researching it on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube about what people are saying. Because YouTube is the best teacher around now.
I got a couple comments here in the chat. KH Jones says they used to make good barbecue 40 years ago. Hashtag shots fired.
So you want to advertise it?
Marco Romero's in the chat. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, man. I know you're working a lot. We got to talk soon. Sleeves TV said we have a lot of post oak here.
Yeah.
Razmed, aka Jackson, says I got a fun question to start it off for everyone. If you could only smoke one meat for the rest of your life, what would that meat be? We'll go in order. TJ, you start.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
If
What
you
was
could
that?
only smoke one meat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, for sure, it's going to be brisket.
Okay. Okay. Keith,
Pork belly burn ends.
pork belly burn ends. Eli,
I gotta change it up. I'll go beef cheeks.
beef cheeks. Okay.
Yes,
San
sir.
Antonio.
I have
Okay.
not tried that.
Hey, you gotta try it. Change your
Yeah,
life.
myself neither.
Brisket daddy. One protein.
Just one. Yeah, I wanted to do the pork burn ins, but I think the brisket is still king on my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
He's got to
brisket.
go with his
because-
namesake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say brisket because I like the long cooks. I like to be able to sit back, have a drink, smoke a cigar. Although when you open the restaurant, that doesn't happen as much as when you're in the backyard. But I will say brisket as well. Awesome. Sleaze TV asks, do I need to go ahead and prepay TJ because I'm ready? Yeah, man.
I'm
Go ahead
ready
and
too,
shoot
bro. I'm ready
TJ.
too.
Go ahead and shoot TJ the cash app. That way he has what you need to do with TJ, guys, is you need to really put his foot to the fire. You need to get this man to start shipping this sausage because he'll take as much time as he'll test every little thing before it goes out. We need to put this man's foot to the fire and start placing some orders.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's my question: how much How much is realistic for a shipped order? Like, how many you think would be a good amount to
8.
require? Because 8.
I need 200 links for a wedding catering
Boom. There you go,
in
TJ.
October.
Boom. There you go.
And
200
I
links.
need 200. And I need 200 just on GP because I want to sell your links out here.
Boom. So guess what?
They've been asking for your meat.
Guess what, TJ? Guess what? I'm gonna match that 200. I'm gonna match that 200. So you got 600 links. Where you at?
You're
dog?
so full of it. You're so
got
full of it, Sean.
No, I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna match you. 200 links, dog. I'm gonna match them. It'll be in my freezer. I'm gonna eat it for breakfast every day. So you got 600. You got orders for 600 links. I'm sure people in the chat want to order some too. You got Sleeves TV. So you're just missing out on money right now, man.
I was honestly thinking about
Yeah. I already know. Like, I had over 100 links, and that was an ordeal. I told you about that. I'm thinking that it'll be a lot easier when I get the 250 in.
Sleeves
making them
TV
in-
said,
Right.
I want to get 200 links too. I want to add it to my menu. That's 800 right there, TJ. Look at that.
Y'all stupid.
Yeah, the sausage guy. Hey, Farah, I do have a catering. I was gonna talk to you guys about it after the questions, but in October for 200 people, bro, for a wedding.
Yeah. Okay. I think that
Nice.
Better get that back right.
So,
What are you going to be serving?
lock that in.
So we went through a couple proposals. I gave him pricing on this and this, but it ended up being chicken and sausage, original sausage,
Okay.
and 2 sides, potato salad, and green beans.
That's with the catering order coming up.
Yes, sir.
What are you planning on charging per person?
So I'm bringing the trailer out. I kind of want to hear what everybody else would kind of like potentially charge, but I'm bringing the trailer out. We're serving. It's a 2-hour window. We're providing all the cutlery and everything. No busing is required. So we make sure to specify in the contract, check with the event, but the places that are having it, right? So we don't need a bus or anything. Everything's going to be on like disposable trays. So
Greg, you
Chafing dishes.
Greg, you got a little bit of background noise, so I muted you. But whenever you want to talk, just unmute. Go ahead, Eli.
So I sent them the proposal. I want to know what everybody else would think on charging for something like that.
So 2 meats, 2 sides.
2 meats, 2 sides, in-person catering, bringing the trailer out.
Are you doing quarter chickens?
It's just quarters, man. Quarter. And
Quarter?
yeah. So 1 link, 1 quarter per serving.
And 2 sides.
Yeah.
I say $12.50 person.
That's a little cheap. That's a little cheap for a wedding, man. That's very cheap.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
And the comments
minimum.
I want to know
Yeah.
as a buyer and a seller what you guys would think.
That's 2,500 at 1250 for 200 ahead.
Mhm.
I mean, for 1250 ahead.
Minimum $25 a plate.
Yeah. So 1250 is way too cheap, Keith, because
Yeah.
that's barely accounting for the food, let alone the labor, the plasticware, the boxes, the fuel to get out there because he's bringing the smoker, between the actual gas in the vehicle to the wood.
Oh, he's going to smoke out there.
He's bringing the smoker.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll actually smoke, but he's bringing out there.
He's bringing
show.
his. Yeah, he's bringing his catering trailer, I think.
Yeah, the trailer.
Most weddings, people are paying the lowest amount, like Greg said, is $25, up to $50 a plate. Sometimes even higher. If you're talking like steak dinners, you're talking like $50 to $75 a head
I was just going off like
minimum.
we're buying half chickens right now.
Yeah, but Keith, it's not going to be that. It's going to be, think about it. You're 200 people at a wedding. A wedding is they're going to expect to be paying more because they
Yeah.
expect no problems. They expect no problems. And
And you got to serve it too.
you got to serve it. Obviously you're not doing like cardboard plates. You're doing it on serving like chafers, steam tables, things like that, sternos, whatever. But yeah, like this is an event for them and you're catering it. So they should be expecting it to cost at least $5,000, if not more.
I would say 25 would be your floor. 25 per person would be your floor.
If not 30.
Yeah.
So I did a catering
That's good
event.
money.
I did a catering event
Yeah, Keith.
last month, and they got a slice of fatty, a slice of lean, and then they got a rib, 2 sides, baked beans and potato salad. Actually, it was baked beans and macaroni and cheese, and a dinner roll, and it was $35 a plate.
No.
Keith, just to give you an idea here, and this is going to be really we got to talk, Keith, especially when you start doing the catering stuff. We got to talk because the catering I did today, it was half and half brisket sandwiches and pulled pork sandwiches with Lay's potato chips and a Coke, and I charged $15 a person, and they were picking it up. So that's $15 a person for pickup on sandwiches, chips, and a drink. He's going out there. He's doing 2 different meats, 2 sides. Like, so just to give you an idea too, Eli, right? I charge $15 for that.
Yeah.
So, you've got a lot of wiggle room. Now, you don't want to like destroy their budget, right? But you got to kind of gauge when you're doing these things. Hey, what were you guys looking at as far as your
Yes.
budget goes? Like what
Exactly.
were you looking to spend on food? Let them tell you first. The art of the deal, the art of the deal, Donald Trump, whatever. The salesman, let them speak first. If you give a price first, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you guys
Pigeonhole
looking
yourself.
to spend on food for this event? And then they'll tell you, and then you can, adjust from there. If you feel like that's too little, then you can kind of say, oh, I know you're trying to stay here, but I do craft Texas style barbecue, this, that, the other. We're going to have the smoker out. It's going to be an experience for your guests, X, Y, Z, and you can adjust from there. Or a lot of times they'll overshoot what you thought. They might say, oh yeah, like TJ said, we were looking to stay under $5,000. And then you say, okay, well, you can hit them at 4,500 or 4,200, and maybe you add something else and you give more value to what you're selling, right?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to go cheap, add more value to what you're giving them, okay, so that you can charge more. And if they said, well, yeah, we were trying to stay under $5,000, and you came in at 4,200 and gave them more food than what you just said, and you enhance the experience maybe in some other ways, they're going to be blown away, and you're going to make even more money.
Yeah.
$32.50.
I saw him calculating, bro. $32.50. So we got $32.50. Keith said $12.50, right? I just want to and then what do you think, TJ?
Yeah, I definitely think Sean's right. You got to ask them what you want. And back in the day when I did electrical and AC with a buddy of mine, we had a price thing set in, and we called it Hussein factor, and that's an inside thing. But we always marked it up $200. And when we gave the price, he always, every time it was a negotiation, and was like, you know what? Fine, take 150 off. Well, we marked it up 200 already on him. So one thing is like if they say in their budget's this, and you go, well, I was thinking this, but I would definitely want to work with you. So instead of me being at 5,500, let me go to 48, and I'll offer this as well because I really want y'all to have a good experience. I really want to provide the service to you, and just sell yourself. So
because
You know, I
no,
go ahead, Sean.
What
nothing is too expensive in this world, guys.
Right.
People pay ridiculous amounts of money for ridiculous things. It's never a price question; it's a value question. People are willing to
Yes.
pay if they feel like the value is there.
Yes.
Period. People are
And
willing
you
to pay if they
undersell
feel like the
yourself,
value
they're
is
going to
there.
question that. If you coming in at 2,500, like they'd be like, "Whoa, that seems a little." You know, we
Yeah.
want a higher level of product, and you're just saying your product's this, and it might be too low in their mindset. Some, you know,
And don't think they're not shopping around.
Yeah.
yeah,
Even if you know this person, they're your friend, you grew up with, whatever the case may be. I don't know how you know this person, but don't think they're not shopping you around.
Yeah.
And so that's why you need to ask them, hey, what did you have in mind? What was your budget for food in this event? Because they're probably going to give you a number based on what other people have
Mhm.
quoted them. And trust me, other people as soon as a caterer hears wedding, they think money.
Mhm.
yes, yes.
So I'm just letting, and
Well,
all those venues that they hold these wedding receptions at, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, they will offer the people getting married a food package,
Like,
whether they
Yeah.
have a kitchen on site or they have other vendors that they partner with. They will offer them a food package, and usually the food package is ridiculously high priced. Sometimes the bride and groom will go with it because it's all in a package deal. It's easy to just say yes to,
mhm.
but they're pricing you out. They're going to price. They're going to check around. They're going to shop around. So you definitely want to get a sense of what they're thinking for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. And those venues, it's already gonna be marked up. They're gonna inflate the price and then like price you down. They're going to try and get it as low as possible from you, so they can already have just a profit of being the middleman.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
how it feels though, because you're like, man, I want this catering gig. Like, let me just give them a really good price so that they'll pick me. But you could be missing out on a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And
Also, what's your thoughts on including the tip? Like the tip is included, like so it's $32.50 a plate, and then it's the tip is already included. The gratuity is already included in.
yeah, I mean, you can do that, but you can do that for sure. I mean, but it's all about sales is all about asking questions. So you
Yeah.
just need to ask, hey, what budget did you have in mind? What experience were you hoping that your guests would get from the dinner? You know,
What are you expecting?
what are you expecting? You know, what would be the perfect scenario for you guys? You know, ask those questions. Let them tell you.
And realize the more you can do for them and make their event easier on them is a selling factor.
Mhm.
Is a
And with
selling factor.
barbecue, you know their guests are gonna. If you got the smoker out there, you know that's a whole nother spectacle. The guests are gonna be coming up asking you questions. You know what kind of all the normal questions all of us on the call get. Right? What kind of wood are you using? What kind of briskets are you cooking? You know this, that, and the other. It's gonna be an experience, and you got to ask the right questions. But then you guys are also kind of sell that experience for those people, right? Just don't you don't want to price gouge, but you gotta feel good about it. There's nothing
Mhm.
worse than doing a catering and feeling like you did it for free.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what they were asking, because I asked all these questions. I was like, "Hey, what options do you have right now? Like, who have you talked to? What's your budget looking like?" And at first, they were talking about just doing like burgers and chips and kind of like having it buffet style. So I was like, "That's all good and well. Like, it's your day. You don't really want to worry about managing it, or hey, or are they going to get cold? Things like that. You want your guests to feel like, hey, this is like taken care of. This is nice, stuff like that." So I threw it out. I had 3 packages. I could do chafing dishes, buffet style, drop it off. Everybody serves themselves, right? That's an option. At first they were thinking about brisket. I could do a like cutting per order, kind of like bringing that craft barbecue to you, right?
Yep.
And there's an additional upcharge of like, hey, you get the experience, right? You're like in the line, your guests are like, oh, this is this is the thing. Or we could bring the trailer out. I'm really trying to promote the trailer because it's being built right now.
Mhm.
I want to get Instagram, Facebook, all of the marketing, kind of like, hey, this is what we do, this is what we offer.
Yep.
So I'm really trying to push the trailer side. So I say, hey, if you want to bring the trailer out, which is easier for us because we're serving out of somewhere we already know.
Mhm.
You know what? I'll waive like the trailer, like bring it out. It's like
Trailer
right down
fee.
it's like right down the street. Yeah, I'll bring. It's right down the street, so I'm like, I'll bring the trailer out. I'll make it a whole thing for you. You will have 2 lines. Your guest comes up, goes to their fixings, they're back, they're having a good time. Whatever you need, right? So at first it was pulled pork sandwiches. Gave them a quote for that, and then they were like, "Hey, we really want 2 meats. Can you do brisket and pulled pork?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can do whatever you want." Brisket, I said, we got to lock this in because brisket prices are really fluctuating, right? So it was like $30, just $30 for pulled pork and brisket, 2 meats
Mhm.
and
Yep.
2 sides. Bringing the trailer out, and they're like, it's a little too rich for us. And then originally, I remembered that they told us their budget was like, or that they were paying somebody like $14 for the burgers and chips, right? So I
Mhm.
had this in the back of my mind.
Yeah, but that's like low
Yeah.
end.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. No, I trust me. But I just needed that information so I know
Right.
what they're working with, right? Because everybody knows it's barbecue, and you put craft barbecue, it's going to be a little bit more pricey. But what do we want for our guests?
Yeah.
What do we want for our day?
Yep.
And so I said, listen, when they came back with like the brisket prices, I thought at that point it was done for. I was like, here's our, like, you have our catering list and I could send it to you guys. It's like everything we offer, right?
Yep.
Everything that we brought in, there's like premium items and stuff because some sides cost more than this and whatever. And so I was like, let's rework it. Here's what we could do. So they chose chicken and sausage, and then I said I'll bring everything out, and we'll do it for $18.50 a person.
Okay.
So in my end, I'm thinking I really want to get this for exposure, really, because we don't have a lot of catering. I mean, we have no caterings with the trailer yet, So
Yeah.
this is how I'm thinking is like, we'll kind of like record some content, do some of this, so we could use it later. And I told him I'll throw in a dino rib for like the bride and groom. So that
Mhm.
way at the end we could take a picture with their ribs and stuff, at
Right.
the trailer. Hey, this is what we did for these guys on their special day, right?
So you
And
locked it in at 1850?
locked it in at
Okay.
1850.
So
There
at
you go.
200
Okay.
people, that's 3,700. Are you adding anything onto that as far as like tip, fees, anything like that? Or you just 3,700, we're done?
No, on the proposal it has
Oh,
has the fee for the travel waived on there and like all the
Okay.
other stuff. So it's
you're
straight up
adding value
1850.
to it. Yeah, you're adding value by doing that and putting it on there. The fee for travel, it's waived. You're
Yeah.
adding value there. The question will be, is it just you and your wife? Are you having to labor out people for this as well, or what?
Babysitter. That's it.
There
It's
you
just
go.
gonna be me and my wife, but got somebody to
Okay.
come watching
So,
the babies. Me and my wife can do it, no problem.
There you go.
so another thing would be, because you don't have labor expenses, tip is waived.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Deal like in the
Yeah.
future, something like that. Because if you have labor of other people you're hiring on to come help, then yeah, it's kind of one thing. But to me, I don't know. We had a
Well,
graduation party here and we did do tip on it, but it's like, to me, if I'm paying for someone to come out and paying the cost of,
Yeah.
I don't know, to me it's a little different. But
well,
all
number
those things
one,
are adding value. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, good.
Well, number one, congrats on the catering job. That's
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yes.
Seems like that's about a $4,000 catering job after everything is said and done. So congrats on that. That's going to be really good for the social media and something to build on for sure. But now kind of after having this conversation, and everybody's budget's different, right? If you can make it happen in their budget and make the money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're just trying to, this is all constructive, conversation to try and make sure that we're all getting what we feel like we deserve for the craft that we're putting out, right?
Yeah.
But Amy had a good comment. She said, set expectations up front, 100%. It's the experience and how you make them feel, the memories that you help them make. Fantastic. I'm going to get to some more comments here. We got Mark Carr said, I've been itching to make jalapeno cheddar sausage. You don't even have to make it, man. TJ can ship it straight to your door. No problem. TJ's got it. He's got another 800 sausages to make, so we can add yours to the list. Uncle T's Barbecue is in the chat. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Your average logical thinker said, sup, Kirby, gents, and hey, Brisket Daddy. There you go.
He's
you're
liking the
muted,
muscle
Greg.
shirt.
Yeah, you're muted, Greg. Yeah, your average logical thinker in the chat. She ready for you, Greg. Pedro said, would the half and half sandwiches be already made, or is it DIY setup? What about the condiments and barbecue sauce? So, Pedro, what I did was, it's basically a box. I call it a boxed lunch. So you get your brisket sandwich all put together in a box with our house-made barbecue sauce, Lay's potato chips, and a nice ice cold Coca-Cola. $15. That's how it is. So they can take it to their event. In this case, it was they had a mission trip going on. They had about 110 people, and they just bring all the boxes. Sodas are all cold. Everybody gets a box and a soda. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Vic's Cooler Chicken Barbecue said, I am secure with my price. Also, the price is the price. If you don't fit in my price, I will not dive a deal. I will remove items to fit your budget, but will not short the quality of my service and food.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Sleaze TV said people will pay for what they want, 100%. Amy says should be seamless and something the client does not have to worry about, and set yourself up for repeat business. Okay, my 2 cents. Perfect.
Yeah, you're catering somebody's wedding. You might get lifelong customers after that.
Yeah, true.
That's a big thing because you're going to be in one of their lifelong memories. Because wedding's supposed to be once in a lifetime.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Awesome. Well, guys, keep putting your comments and your questions in the chat, guys. We've been live for over 2 hours. Things are going great. I'm feeling good. Second cigar, and we got the Perdomo Champagne cigar. Awesome cigar if you guys haven't had it. I don't know if we got any cigar enthusiasts on the live.
Eli, how's the smoker going? The smoker build?
I got pictures, but we're deciding on a collector or not. Skids or not. So he's putting on skids after all. Collector, yes. Should be ready by that wedding. We should have it. We should have it up and running.
There you go.
Yeah, I like the picture you sent me of the tanks.
I didn't get no pictures.
So you don't matter.
This was before. This was before.
I build the platform, the community, and then they just exile me.
This was before. This was before you. This before you hit me up. Oh, here's for the. That's the trailer. This is a cold table I might buy. I'll spam you, Sean.
It's all good. I'll check them out.
All right.
So, why they treat me this way, Keith? Can you explain this? Why they treat me this way?
So Alex trucking with Alex had told me try out. Asked if I had tried salt, pepper, oak in my area, which is actually Baton Rouge. It's like an hour away from me. And what's funny is, so I answered to him that I plan on going up there. I ran across his videos. He's actually streaming his cut table every day. He is live streaming it. But y'all, if you haven't seen him, check him out. It was one where he showed. It was one I think he did just a week or so ago. He's got 2 1,000-gallon smokers, and he's got a thermostat device connected to it where it actually has a shutter that opens and closes on the smoke box to where he puts the wood in there and it's basically controls the temperature of the smoker, and he doesn't do anything with it. I thought that was interesting. You're not necessarily getting away from the traditional smoking. You're just eliminating having to manage the fire itself by having a mechanism, and it's just a simple thing that was added on to
What
the
kind of pit
existing
is it?
smoker. He has got 2,000 gallons. I forget exactly who he said it was, but it was somebody in the area that had that. There's a thermostat, like, say, you know where that first door ends right by the firebox. There's a sensor
Yeah,
in there that
I'm just a
runs
little
out.
curious. I'm just a little curious about the mechanism used to open and close the firebox.
So it's a opening about like that big that's got a flapper, and it's constantly flapping open and close throughout the whole thing. And what it does is just restricts and opens up the airflow going into the fire, and you don't have to touch it at all except to add more wood. Like, oh wow. So you're not leaving the door cracked open. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah,
And I did.
ThermalWorks makes something like this. Well, I'm not for sure about the flapper, but I've seen like an
The
air
little
blower
motor.
that, yeah, little
Yeah,
motors you add
that
onto their smoker, and it regulates the temperature. You say I want my fire to stay at 250, and it knows when to give it air or when to stop giving it air.
Yeah, so that one I've seen is more for like a backyard smoker. This is a
Okay.
more industrial one. And you have a temper control that you can set your things. It's anybody wanted, it was Salt Pepper Oak. They are out of Baton Rouge. I'm off next weekend. I'm probably gonna try and run up there and see how his stuff is.
So I got 2 comments here. Vic's Cooler Chicken Barbecue says, "Do you smoke any boutique cigars or mostly name brands? I smoke a lot of small company stuff. We need to get together and we'll share." Yeah, no, for sure. Um, I'll try some of the smaller companies. I don't have any issue doing it, but if it sucks, I'm not going to smoke it again. Smoke and Oak Barbecue said he said also the way his brother builds them, I guess his brother's building them. They build them for max capacity cooking. The mechanism is magnetic, I believe. Okay. Interesting.
I definitely thought it was interesting, that's for sure, because Franklin Barbecue argued or pushes like there's no convection. I mean, there's no fans or blowers. It's all traditional. This is, I think it's not, you're not forcing air in there. You're just restricting what air is going in there through a mechanism, which is an interesting concept, especially if it's going to make your pit run as super efficient.
Does anybody run thermometers while they cook in their meat or in their proteins or in the pit?
Not
Keith,
Sean.
Eli?
I used to, but not anymore.
Over time, you're going to just get it. Like, I still will throw stuff in there to monitor because I'm not as proficient on certain things. But yeah, over time, you're gonna know.
Yeah, I think when people start using thermometers and stuff, they get too reliant on that, and they start focusing on the temperature inside the smoker and the meat and the temperature of the meat and all that good stuff instead of everything else. And I
Your
think
3 factors.
I just think it's too much. I think
Maybe anxious, man. Like I was like,
I think it's very micromanaging. I think you need to be looking at the other factors when it comes to the brisket, other than temperature inside the smoker, as well as the meat. I mean, you're going to learn your pit the more that you use it, and it's not going to matter. I mean, like I know. Here's a great example, right? Um, I come a little bit from, I'm involved a little bit in the finance world, and we talk about leading indicators and lagging indicators, right? And you're talking about when do you need to add. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about when you need to add more wood to your fire. Like, your thermometers are not, they're not measuring the temperature at that immediate moment, right? It's
Right.
not a digital thermometer. So it's a lagging indicator. So you need to know by looking at that firebox and looking at the coal bed and looking at what you have splits on. hey, yeah, my pit says it's 250, but I can tell this fire's it's about to die. I don't have enough wood on the fire. I need to go add some more. If you're just relying on temperatures of thermometers inside and probes and all this good stuff, you're not that doesn't do you any good. Plus, when you start doing high volume of briskets like Keith's doing out there, and even higher than that, you don't have time to be sticking thermal pros in every brisket and doing all kinds of wild
Right.
stuff like that. This is not realistic.
Well, they make a wireless unit and wireless probes now, right? So I think you can do up to 250 probes on one network. Yeah, I was just curious.
I mean, if you're in that volume though, like you got to be at that level to where you could just tell, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't know.
You're trying to worry about staff. You're trying to worry about a line. You're trying to worry about how much meat you have left to sell for the day. You're trying to worry about that kind of like. There's a difference between, and here's a difference between pop-ups and doing a restaurant too, right? For a pop-up, you're cooking your briskets the day before. All you have to worry about is the food. When you open a restaurant, you're worried about a lot of other things other than the food, right? You're worried about if the restroom's clean, right? You're worried about if you've got a host at the door. You're worried about is your cashier smiling today, right? Like you got a lot of other things to worry about than is this brisket at 160 or is it at 180? Is the smoker at 250 or is that 255? You know what I mean? Like it's just you have different priorities at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Sean, are you running a 250 on your new pit?
So similar to what Greg said, what I found is when it comes to brisket specifically, I start off pretty low, about 220.
No. I mean the size of your new pit.
Oh, it's a 250. Yeah, it's
It
250.
is a 250.
Yeah, it's a 250. Yep.
Do you run your stack full open all the time?
The only time I turn it to about 10 o'clock is when the temperature gets a little too high. It's drawing too much. That's the only time that I adjust the stack. Otherwise, I'm keeping it wide open. I like it that way. It's the most predictable to me that way. I don't have to fool with it. I don't think that if you have an efficiently running pit, you shouldn't need to be messing with the smokestack. You should have enough volume in that pit. You should have it, and that goes to size too, right? Maybe on a smaller pit, you might want to change some stuff, right? But I think at least on my pit, on my 250, there's plenty of volume in there. It's got a smoke collector. It's got at the stack. There's no reason why I need to close that stack down at all unless the temperature's getting too hot.
We run wide open also.
Yeah.
Is your
I just see some guys, that are always, choking their stack a little bit, and I've always wondered why.
So Paul with PRM, Paul with PRM, he has his baffle close to the collector. So he says it runs differently than yours is on the top of your stack. I'm looking at your picture right now. It's like he chokes it closer to the collector, is what Paul said, who builds the smokers. And he'll tell Sean and he'll tell everybody run it at like 10 o'clock, which is going to probably put it at, I'll say, 60% open. With it on the first notch, leaving the firebox open to just sip on air. And because the baffle is so close to the collector at the bottom, that it pushes and helps even out the temperature throughout the smoker.
I'm kind of opposite.
Again,
I'm doing like half close. I rarely fully open it for brisket.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But it's a different smoker too,
Yeah, it's different smokers. So do you have an insulated box?
It's an insulated box. The biggest difference is like when I had it exactly what Sean was saying. Like when I had it fully open, predictable. Like I know, I'm just no messing with it. I could have the door like this cracked or whatever, But when I closed it and I kind of kept that smoke like going in and then coming back down and only letting a little bit out, I've noticed for my pit that I'm getting more rendering on my brisket because a lot of that is staying in there. I
Right.
don't know exactly how it works, but the best renderings I've gotten have been where I'm like halfway closed, maybe slightly 60-70%. But that's just for my pit.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what Eli said. Like you're gonna, if it's wide open, you're gonna have the most predictability because it's smooth sailing. Your pit's not fighting. It's not fighting to get air, and it's not fighting to release it or the smoke, right? So,
Right.
I do know some people will close it. Sorry about these birds. I don't know where they came from, frogs or whatever.
I was like, what is that, bro? You talking about
literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, so at this point in the show, guys, we're gonna go ahead and mute Sean's mic.
I don't know. It's just literally random, but
yeah, what kind of bird is that? Wow.
I don't know, man. But
Eli, what was your size of your smoker? I forget. Was it a 150 or is bigger? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a 150.
Okay, yeah. Well, Keith he's the one that's working with the biggest. He's got the 1,000 gallons. So.
And he's got the volume of smoke, though. That's the thing. Is the volume of the pit is going to allow that pit to collect more smoke in there, so he doesn't need to close down the stack to get enough smoke on the brisket.
If I closed the stack 50%, I'd have to run more wood.
Yep.
To keep it up around 250.
Yep.
And that would be a hotter fire.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting that draw.
Do you have a big coal bed, like usually?
I've trained my guys to remove coals over time, just to make sure we have airflow underneath. Because I like to have airflow underneath my wood.
Yep.
So I'm always having them reshape the coal bed, if not removing some coals over, 4 or 5 hours in.
And just to clarify, so because we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago too. I don't know if you guys remember, and Eli, you were on this stream too. The primitive pit, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but it's a cylinder-shaped firebox, correct?
Yep. So it's got the smiley face at the base anyway.
Yeah. So we were talking about a couple
what
weeks
I call the smiley face.
Yeah. We were talking about a couple of weeks ago, kind of the coal bed management between a cylinder firebox and a square, because I have a square firebox.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, square takes a little bit more maintenance to get a good coal bed.
It can, but I don't typically have to do as much coal management from what I've found.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
I've never, I jumped right from a 150 to a 1000, so I don't have any experience on a 250 or a 500 to really be able to tell what I did what I would have done differently.
Have you noticed a significant difference from when your briskets come out from the 150 to the 1000s?
At first, the first few test cooks, yes, but now we've got pretty good steps in place where we're putting about the same quality.
Same trim and everything for the 1000 to the 150 on the briskets?
I've changed my steps a little bit. I don't wrap anymore at the stall. I leave them open. I just foil tip the lean and keep it away from the firebox.
Because you got more room.
So you wrap at the end of the cook?
So you have a lot more room.
Yeah. When we pull them, we wrap them. Put a little tallow in and wrap them.
There you go. And you're cooking yours for what temperature? What's the temperature you're trying to get to on your brisket?
We pull them at 195 usually.
Well, no,
area.
I mean the temperature of the smoker.
Oh, we're trying to maintain 250.
250. Okay, throughout the whole cook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just where that pit likes to run.
Okay. And
You,
so
you can get it hotter, but it cruises at 250 pretty easily.
and you're wrapping in aluminum foil or
We're just foil tipping the lean.
no, I
At
mean
the end,
pull it off.
do you wrap in foil or butcher
We
paper?
pull it off, wrap it
Paper.
with
Yeah,
butcher
we
paper.
still wrap in paper.
Okay. So you're not putting in a ridiculous amount of tallow then.
No.
Okay. And I say that
No.
because my my warmer pans, my full pans are full of tallow in the morning when I come in.
Oh, you hit them pretty hard?
I hit them pretty hard. Yeah, because I wrap in butcher paper on the smoker. When I get the
Oh.
color I want on the brisket, I wrap in butcher paper and then I move it closer to the firebox because I'm trying to go home at a decent time. So I want
Yeah.
to protect the brisket. But when they come off, like I'll unwrap them out of that butcher paper, and then I'll hit them with the tallow, wrap it back up in the same butcher paper, and then wrap it in foil. So I kind of have it double wrapped a little bit, but even still, like there's tallow coming out of it in the morning, man.
I need to do something because my warming cabs are like 12, 14 feet from the cutting board.
Ooh,
So, I mean, I'm back and forth and sometimes pulling a new brisket and it just starts dumping tallow all over me.
yeah.
It's
You gotta
not a
get
fun journey.
you gotta get those warmers closer to the cutting board, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to get something figured out there, but
Yeah,
we're
you
hampered
reduce your
by
steps,
electrical
man.
outlets.
So
What's
what's
that?
wrong with
Man.
why can't
Here's the
you
thing.
actually sit in a
Find
full
yourself
sheet
an electrician,
disposable?
offer him some food.
Why can't they sit in a full sheet disposable metal tray so you won't spill any juice?
Oh, they're on metal trays in the cabinet, but when I'm pulling one for the cutting board, I just grab it off the tray and
Oh,
run it up to
So,
the board.
Greg, you want to limit the amount of disposable stuff you use on a day-to-day basis anyway. Like when I
yes,
started doing
I
stuff,
wash all my disposables. I try to keep as many as possible. I wash mine.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
In a
Yeah.
restaurant setting, you can't do that though.
Can't do that, huh?
Yeah, no,
No.
because they're not designed for reuse.
They're really not.
And you're looking at like you're using disposables because you're doing an event, and it's supposed to be a one and done thing. Like we're using reusable sheet pans and things like these. That tallow's slippery too. You better have some non-slips because you be falling all over the place, man.
It's the chickens that burn the crap out of me. Sometimes my pit guy, he'll put two halves together in
Oh,
foil,
no,
and I'll just grab it out of the warmer and realize he has it turned down, and then it's just dumping juice all over me.
Oh man.
that's a training issue. You got to train them how
Right.
it gets put in there, so where
Oh
because you're
man.
grabbing and going.
Yeah, like I said, the first 30 days, you got to
Yeah,
pick your battles. You
you
really
don't want to get
do. And he's a
burned.
good kid. I mean, this kid, he's 23. He took right to the pit. He just has a knack for knowing when food's done. He's done a good job. I just kind of turned him loose on some things, and he's done good. But he does turn things down in the cabinet sometimes, and it just dumps on me. And of course, in front of a customer, you can't start cussing, and you're trying to maintain some smile. And yeah, I just got soaked in chicken juice.
Keith, do you have like a heating lamp, or are you taking it like if you cut brisket and you don't fully cut for all the customers, and then you're putting it back, or do you keep it like next to a heating lamp next to your block?
No, we wrap it right away in foil, and it goes right back in the cab.
Okay.
That's a lot of walking
Sometimes
back
we
and
get.
forth.
I mean, I shouldn't say goes right back. Sometimes, if we're 5, 6
Oh.
people deep in line, those brisket's going to hang out on the board for a little bit. Sometimes we cut all the way through them and finish them out. But yeah, we try and get them back in the cab as fast as we can, wrapped.
That's what I was saying. Like if he could have like space for a heating lap next to him, it's wrapped next to him or something. If it's going to sit there, you moved on to another protein you're cutting or something. But less trips.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta dial in a few things over the next 60 days here and there.
Still learning. You've only been open a month, and you're still doing good.
Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Well, if you have any remaining questions for anyone on the panel, now's the time to go ahead and put them in the chat. I know everybody's probably had a long week and a long weekend, so we're not going to drag this out all the way through the night. If you guys have any remaining questions, definitely put them in the chat. I'll take this time while we're waiting on questions to say thank you, Keith, for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to have you in the community.
Sharing part of the journey's half the fun with other people in the industry because they can relate. Anybody else, they don't get it. You guys get it. I mean, the only thing I'd like to throw out, if anybody ever has any questions about how we got from one point to another or just anything, feel free to reach out to me. Anything. I don't mind paying it forward, for anything that I've gone through. Same, the way you've shared also, Sean.
The barbecue community is a different community. For the most part, most people in the barbecue community are very helpful to each other and open and welcome.
Wide open.
Yeah. And that's part of the experience. Like I said, when I went to that restaurant and they were not energetic, not enthusiastic, flat out, no, we don't do pit tours, which I even gave a disclaimer. I'm not looking right now when y'all just opened, but do y'all do them in general? Absolutely not. Is basically what I got from them. It's like, yeah, you're not going to get a lot of return business.
I mean, when you think about it, 30 years ago, sauce recipes were also secretive and this and that. And now, I mean, like Cooper Abercrombie at Bar A puts his rib glaze recipe right out on a video, and this thing's award winning. And he's selling it for $5. I mean, it's crazy. People just give now.
It's a different world. It's a different world. So, Greg, what you got coming up, man? You got anything coming up, or you taking the rest of the summer off and recouping? I know you mentioned that deal with the bar, possibly, right?
Yeah, I'm actually, as soon as we get off this live, I'm going to drive over there. They are open until 2 a.m. I'm going to go see, who I run into, what I find. This Friday, I'm doing a pop-up. Somebody said they wanted me to sell at their 50th high school reunion. 50 attendees. I'm probably going to prepare for 30 people. I'll do 2 briskets. And so I actually have a production job Wednesday through Friday. I've got a person ready to come over, I think Friday at 4:00 to start a fire for me to get some proteins on. And then I'll be arriving home at about maybe 12 in the morning to finish those briskets off, and then head over to the commercial kitchen on Saturday morning to do my sides. So hopefully everything runs well for me this coming Saturday. Small order. Nothing on the calendar after that.
Best of luck.
Thank you. You too, Eli. You too. And then TJ, I'll be looking for my 200 sausages to California.
Got to pay in advance, buddy.
The question is, when will they be ready? That's the question. Brisket Daddy got that California money. He ain't worried about the payment. He just worried about.
Right. I'm not looking for a 90-day lead either.
He ready for the delivery. He's not worried about the payment. Don't worry about that. Greg got the money.
We'll figure that part out.
This week I'll be seeing if I can find my dry ice vendor. I don't know. I got to find where I can get it. Then I got to test it to see how it's going to work. I'm working on it. I am. I'm taking some time in the next few weeks anyway from work so I can try and accomplish some things at the house and get things going. So I'll be able to knock some things off the list.
There you go.
Hey, Sean, do you think about putting these brisket loaded fries on your menu yet?
Not a chance.
And what about the brisket pizza?
Not a chance.
All right, I'm giving give you an opportunity here.
That's California fair food. They won't buy that around here, man.
Okay.
Look, 50% of my customers are over the age of 50 years old, and they come up and they say, "Let me get a chopped beef sandwich." You want any sides? Nope, just let me get a chopped beef sandwich. Cool. There you go. They're not trying to do brisket pizza or loaded fries or anything crazy like that, man. They want their chopped beef sandwich and they're good to go. Maybe some potato salad or some baked beans, but other than that, man, they're good to go.
I tell you, I'm gonna take it to a whole nother level with these brisket fries for sure. So I'll let you know. I'll let you
Okay.
know.
All right. I don't have a fryer in my establishment. And
For good reason.
I was told if I wanted to put a fryer in, I was told I was going to need more hood vent space,
Yep.
and a bigger fire suppression system that was going to cost even more money, and I'm not doing it. I got to deal with all the grease. No,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
No deep frying here either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pain in the butt. I've been there, done that. Any closing? We'll go around the horn here. Any closing thoughts, TJ?
I'm good.
Keith?
It's been a great night.
I just want to get my net higher, so I'm going to come after you about that.
You want to get your what?
My
Net
net
higher.
higher.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it.
The wife wants a paycheck.
Yeah, we're gonna get her that paycheck. Eli,
What the
any
wife
closing
wants, the
thoughts?
wife gets.
That's right.
Nothing, man. Appreciate all the insight on the catering. That's really what we're looking to push, and then hopefully we have a few leads on places to post up for the trailer. So hopefully that's all good. By the end of the month, we should be good there. And then we have like there's like a wedding venue that's doing a kind of like a preferred vendor, like, hey, come out, show people what you got, sort of a thing, and then show us, and then could be on the preferred vendor list. So we have that lined up. So there's a lot of good things, but appreciate all the feedback from y'all.
Very good.
Hey,
Chris,
send me some of your trailer, like the progress of your trailer.
Okay.
When you get a chance.
Eli, you should be, man. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but you should be freaking vlogging the build out of the trailer and the process and all that good stuff.
He got an 8 to 5, man. He's busy.
8 to 5, 5-year-old, 2-year-old. But
look, my job is not to accept excuses. It's to hold people accountable and push them to further heights. That's my job, okay,
Yeah.
TJ? If you want to give people excuses about back injuries and 200 sausages being too much, that's on you, dog. But me,
600.
my place in the community is to push you
600.
guys to do.
This man right here has got 2 kids and a job. You got a dog.
That's my job. My job is to push y'all. All right. I'm just doing my job. All right. Don't get mad at me.
Hey, but I think a big thing is like the content, like you were talking about that place where they had the video of the block and stuff. We're gonna have like GoPros and stuff like that of us serving out of it. We're just gonna have a lot of like, my goal, put out as much content out there as possible so people can see, because you're asking people to come to your spot wherever you're posted up at. Barbecue's expensive. They're gonna take that risk on you. Well, if it looks good enough on video, let's go try it. Sort of thing.
Yes.
Eli, at the very least, start filming the content on the trailer. You don't have to post nothing.
I got you.
Just at least get the footage.
Get raw footage.
Just get the raw footage, and you can use it later.
My camera's somewhere, but yeah, I got you.
Brisket Daddy, closing thoughts.
If you got the skill, but you don't got the dollar bill, Get my man Paul up. At
You need the
PRM
hat, bro.
Barbecue Co.
Put the hat on.
The hat. You need the hat, bro.
There you go.
PRM Barbecue. I'm selling them right now tonight. If you ain't got the dollar bill, but you got the skill, he got financing available for you. I'm
That's
out.
right.
This is Brisket Daddy.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next stream. Peace.